Okay, now we're actually worked in a working position. Okay, so I'm gonna move back to the other thing unless we actually need to reference the world map. So,
Okay.
poof. Alright, so you guys are in a city. Great place to start.
Cool.
So I'll give you a basic rundown of what life in the city is like before we head into where your characters are. So, the city is in a. Actually, I'll bring up the world map again because it might be helpful. Um, the city is in a place called the Water Veins. The Water Veins is a place that is covered in rivers. However, through some sort of magical means, which has either been lost to time or has been part of nature since time immemorial, the rivers are above ground. So, they sort of look like veins on someone's skin if their veins are bulging. Um, so there's the flat ground around the rivers, and then there's these pumping water rivers that sort of go above the land in a magical, mystical way that looks sort of like a vein, which is why the place has been named the Water Veins. Um, so, uh, the rivers move and gesticulate in such a way to give the at least partial illusion of a heartbeat. They move quickly and then they stop their flow, and then they move quickly and then stop their flow. Um, it is a very interesting phenomena to witness. Um, however, to the people who live here, it is just an everyday normal occurrence and is not interesting at all. Um, so, as your characters are, um, to give them a little more context, you are in the city of Aquanball, which is uh, has actually been placed within the middle of one of these water veins. Um, so the city itself has been underwater. It is underwater. And through some sort of magical means, again, whether lost through time or some sort of natural thing, but probably just lost through time since people live here. There are magical mechanisms that allow the city to not have everything pushed along with this heartbeat. There's a thin layer of water that goes above the whole city that is pumped through with this uh, forward momentum. So, um, but the rest of it, the water is sort of stagnant and stays there. There are two sides of the city, one of which is fully aerated, as in there's air everywhere. Um, and there's just that thin layer of water that goes above the city. The
Hmm.
other side is completely covered in water. So all the buildings, all the everything, even the people there are completely covered in water. And this particular city is a um, centralized point to be like, let's just say that you are from far away and you want to meet somebody who is waterbound. So, like a mer person or another race that tends to live in the water, like sea elves and those sorts of things. You want to meet these people, you want to converse with them, potentially trade. Um, these people meet in this city. They stay on the water side, and sometimes if they are completely waterbound, as in they can't walk on land at all, um, they have ambassadors that go forth with their intentions into the aerated side and let people, whoever needs to know whatever, they let them know, and then they go back with them into the water side. A common thing that you will encounter in this place is amulets of water breathing. So anybody who wants to go into the water side, they can do so with an amulet of water breathing. You just have to stop at one of the guard stations near the half of the city where it leads to the water side, and they will provide you with one as long as you promise to return it when you come back. However, you can also purchase them. So if you wish to purchase one, you can do so. Let's see. Um, there are another common thing that you will find is that some of the waterbound creatures have found a magical way to come to the air side of the city using
Hmm.
a magical amulet similar in a similar fashion, and they wear this or have it on their body somewhere, and it will create a sphere of water around them so that way when they go to somewhere where there's air, they just sort of swim through the air using this sphere that surrounds them of water. So that's
Hmm.
another common thing that you will see within the city. Um, a few other things that are relatively common that you would be aware of.
Hmm.
A lot of the bad people in the city live on the water side. Um, due to the fact that the water side has creatures like Sahagin, um, uh, what are the other ones? Myriad, I think they're called. The evil merfolk. That
Uh,
side of the city has those people. Um,
yeah.
and they don't have laws or rules that prevent them from doing certain things that those races like to do. So, um, but on the aerated side, they have a lot of the laws that prevent them from doing those things. So, if you manage to see one of the evil races on the aerated side, they're either going to be non hostile, or if they are, they will be very quickly arrested and brought out of that part of the city or just put in jail. So, yeah, it's a thing that you'll have to worry about. Like if you're worried about robbers or that sort of thing on the aerated side, not so much. But if you're headed to the water side, anything goes, anything's game. Like sacrifices of humans for the purpose of whatever evil deity that these merfolk want to enact is fair game.
Yeah.
So, you'll have to be very careful. Either have a guard or be the guard yourself. Watch yourself when you're in this area. So, um, these are the main things that you'll need to be cautious of or aware of as you're in the city. However, since most of you are air breathing creatures, you are meeting in a tavern on the aerated side. Um, there is someone who is very enigmatic. He doesn't really show himself or talk about himself very much. And in his letters, if any of you needed a letter to come here, he addresses himself as E, the letter E, And if anybody spoke to you to get you to come here, they only know him as E. You're not even
Okay.
sure if it's a he, to be honest.
Just E.
Yeah. They're a representative of E, and this particular person has drawn you in whichever way is appropriate to your character. Perhaps you're looking for magic items. Perhaps you're looking for supplies. Perhaps you're looking for just money. This character will have drawn you in such a way that is appropriate. Um, what this character wants in exchange for these things is for you to help him investigate the intricacies of the city. So we're going to switch back now. So you guys are in a tavern. And if I need to draw anything for the map, I'll do that. But you guys are all sitting at the same table. It appears that you are the only three, although you are aware that there are perhaps more. But at the moment, you are the only three who have gathered here at the tavern. You were told to meet here if you wanted to either meet E or find out more about E.
And we don't know each other, right?
You guys are completely unaware of each other, considering
Okay.
since since we just talked to about where your characters are from.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are from different parts of the world, so
Hmm.
uh, yeah, you either don't know of each other or have heard of each other in passing and don't really know anything about each other. Like perhaps one of you is a merchant, wink wink, who has a reputation, but other than that, it's not like you have interacted with each other before or anything like that.
Okay.
So this is your first time meeting, and the reason you guys are at the same table is because it's there's a little card on the table, like like a thing that says reserved, and it also says it says reserved for those who wish to meet E.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's not suspicious at all.
so yeah, it says that. So you guys are like, oh, this must be where we need to go. So you guys are sitting
Mm.
at the table. You can be, and also like your starting gold and everything is based on your background. So you can decide whether or not you want to have been ordering drinks or eating or whatnot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let each of you introduce your characters, and then you can do a little bit of role play if you wish, because E is not going to meet you immediately, or whoever it is who is going to meet you who is a representative of E.
I'm gonna
So,
check if I actually. I'm just gonna check one thing on my background if I have the correct amount of gold in my inventory. So
yeah, if you like chose a noble background, it tells you how much gold usually you
yeah,
start with.
I have the correct amount. I have the correct amount.
So, who wants to go first describing their character?
Sure, I'll go.
All right, go ahead.
I, my name is. I look like a drow, as you can see in the picture, and my name is Krestos, and he will basically sit by the table, and he's conjuring a spell, basically the same equivalent that he browsing on his phone. Matt probably knows what I'm doing.
Yes, so he is a bard, as you guys are aware. He's
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
basically tapping into the ley lines, the magical ley lines, and other bards have put things into the ley lines, and that's what he's accessing basically. So he's sort of zoned out, and you can see if you look at his eyes, you can see that there's some sort of there's like text and pictures just zooming past his eyes if you look close enough, but otherwise you can just see like weird designs on his eyes. So
Mhm.
he's just browsing the bardic information that they have uploaded. So like news, blogs, those sorts of things. They're not called
Mhm.
blogs, but whatever a
Yeah,
bard
it's
has
basically a blog.
decided, whatever a bard has decided to upload to the magical ethereal network, that is what he is accessing.
Mhm.
So that's what he's doing.
Mhm. Yeah. You want to go next, Gio, or should I?
There you go. I'm trying to solve a problem now.
Well, my character name is Leon. He seems like a human man, maybe early 30s, late 20s. He has his arms and all are completely covered in the metal armor, similar to the picture, but not as intrigue. He got fairly short hair, seems slightly above average height. As most of those people know, I hate playing short people. uh, but he seems like a human man. He also has a mechanical wolf next to him. That is just currently is just relaxing next to him while he's tinkering on some of his on his rifle or musket, as it is.
It is a musket.
Hmm.
So just to give you some perspective here,
Hmm.
you guys are around this table.
Hmm.
It's a pretty small table, and this is the rest of the
Place.
tavern. So
Yeah.
it's not a
That we
huge tavern. There are, let's just throw up some things here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's slightly bigger. Those are the tables. And this thing here is the bar itself.
Mm-hmm.
There is a staircase. Let's see here. To another floor. That part of the room is taken up by the staircase, which leads to some rooms if you so need. And oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'm just like can do that since I can do that.
And I'm just gonna do what I have done before. This square is where the door opens and closes to.
This one.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's where the doorway would swing in and then close. It takes up that square. There's not
Okay.
anything in that square. It's just where the square would be. So there's people around if you so need to talk to them. There's a person over here. There is one single barmaid running around taking people's orders. And there are just people hanging out. And this is a tavern, not necessarily a bar or anything like that. This place has food. So, it's not just drinks. You can get food, you can get whatever you need.
Now, before we
Mm-hmm.
get to introduce my character,
Yep, so your
my
character, go ahead.
my character's called Utsil. He's an Yanti pureblood, but he's quite different from any other kind of Yanti pureblood. He's actually quite neutral, friendly, or just tries you to sell his wares. I mean,
Alright.
he has quite some nice leather work in his bag and in wherever he's had set up his stall. Not human skin. He can guarantee that for a 100% guarantee.
You guys are not surprised due to the reputation of E. E is willing to work with anyone, at least from his reputation.
Yeah.
As long as they're willing to go with his ideals, he's willing to work with anyone.
Well,
Mm.
And he doesn't.
seem
This Yuan-Ti doesn't appear to be trying to kill you right now, so it's a step up from many Yuan-Ti you may or may not have encountered.
well, it seems like we're all here for the same person. Am I correct?
Well, as far as I understood, everyone seems to be on this extremely open that shows this is reserved for those. So I would think so, yes.
It seems so, yes, indeed. And I must say, your mechanical construct is quite intriguing.
Okay. Yeah, he
Yeah.
comes in handy. Nice to have some
Yeah.
little aid when you need it.
And it
I can.
appears to be mimicking lifelike activities. It is currently just sitting on the floor with its front paws in front of it, that sort of thing. You know how dogs sit. And it currently appears to be panting, even though it doesn't appear to have any reason to do so, because it's
Hmm.
mechanical.
Can I give it a pet, or does it just start biting? I don't know.
I don't see a problem with it. It's pretty friendly.
Well, pets are allowed, so petting I will do.
And whether or not it's actually enjoying it or not, you're not sure because it's a machine. But it is mimicking, like sort of like moving its head into your hand, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Never could quite get the magics always, but always nice to see these kinds of things. And
Just some.
what about you, our silent friend?
It's not even paying attention to you. It's browsing.
Yeah.
But
So he
He's
doesn't know
basically
you
Okay.
was.
unless you
He's
try to get.
basically looking at Reddit.
Yeah, he's like not paying attention to you. Imagine if you had headphones in and you're just looking at your phone and there's other people at the table with you. Yeah,
no,
he's lost. So unless you
Ah,
do something else to get his attention, he's not paying attention.
okay, we're not getting him back anytime soon.
Probably he should come to his senses when he has finished what he's doing,
Or when somebody that is important comes up.
or that.
Or that, yes.
Because how it works, just to give you a little more context, is that you can see it on your eyes, but you can also, like, if there's no background on the thing that you're looking at, you can see
Mm-hmm.
past to them. So you can see them. So if they wanted to get your attention, they could, but it doesn't seem like they've
It's up
done
to him
the
to
thing.
respond. Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem like they've done the thing to get your attention yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just leaving him be. Just the artificer and the warlock just having a chit chat.
Yeah. I wonder
So
when
yeah,
this E-man will show up, or woman.
So
man, woman, as long they
just
can,
in
well,
case you
help
don't
us.
have it on your sheet,
Mm-hmm.
this spell that I've given you, Crestos, Crestos, that's it.
Yeah,
Um, it's a cantrip, so you can cast it
yeah,
whenever you
yeah.
want.
I know that, but uh, I don't know exactly what it does, but I know it's basically the internet.
Yes. So it allows you to access the internet, and you can print off using magical means, the means that in which you are a bard. You can like write things down as if you were a printer. So you can like artfully draw pictures even if you're not skilled at it using the magic.
Ooh.
As long as it's something that someone has uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, that's how it works.
Okay.
if you need more specifics, you can ask me when they come up.
Mhm.
Because I know exactly how this spell works, so it's fine.
Mhm.
He's basically streaming on Reddit. He's basically looking at Reddit.
Yeah, and only bards have access to it, so it's not a thing that your characters would be familiar with how it works entirely.
That's quite reasonable, being that artificers mostly magics are based at their inventions. So
Yeah, your character would be interested only in that you would want to replicate it using mechanical
Mhm.
means. Whether or not that's possible, your character is unsure.
Yeah.
Because no one has succeeded so far. So, yeah. So you guys are hanging out. Anybody have drinks or want anything?
Leon will order a drink.
All right.
Yeah, I will one as well.
All right. The barmaid is a sea elf, and in my world, they look a little different than perhaps in other canons. Only in that
Don't
they. Oh, go ahead.
go on, go on. Don't say the image that was in the the image that was in the on the campaign flag. I assume.
No, that's not what they look. That is actually a maid mer. A reverse mermaid. That's what that is.
Oh, a fish human instead of a human fish.
Yeah. So instead of the bottom part being fish, it's the top part. Yes.
Yeah.
They exist in this world. They are a creature that you could encounter. So, and they're not necessarily evil, but they're not necessarily good either. So, yes. What sea elves look like? They have fins on their body, unnecessary fins, and they also have specialized feet that are splay out on the ground, kind of like a duck's foot, and it has web in between them. So they look especially strange for us as humans in the real world, but not to your characters necessarily. But if you've never seen one before, it could be strange. So she walks over and has a, a little notepad and pen. So what can I get you?
Just one ale from me.
She nods, writes it down. And for you, she sort of is taken aback by your appearance. You want tea? You can tell that she's like, it's as if you saw like in real life, like a bug person just sort of sitting there, as if everything was normal.
Yeah, I just look at her and tell her I don't bite.
I'm sure you don't. Otherwise, you would have been arrested by now. So she's ready to take your order if you have one.
A simple ale.
Alright. And she looks over at the drow, but he appears to be. She goes, and oh.
He's occupied, so excuse him.
I'll make a perception.
Okay.
That's very fair.
First roll.
Oh yeah, I do see
Damn.
Yeah, you do notice her.
Yeah. So
she just
I
appears
First
to be a
natural
barmaid.
20 wasted.
She just appears to be a barmaid wanting to know if you want anything.
yeah. So I go out of the internet for a sec.
Yeah.
So,
The coloring and symbols on his eyes just vanish for a second, and he looks over.
yeah. Yes, one drink, please.
Alright. Anything in particular, or just drink?
What sort of drinks are there here? Do I know?
Alcoholic, regular. There's also some undersea drinks that might be interesting to any of you. Um,
Okay.
they're harvested from underwater flora. Um, and there's also like undersea, like you know how cow milk is a thing. Well, there's undersea creatures that also produce milk, and it has been
Oh,
harvested.
whale milk.
Yeah, pretty much. So they do
Okay.
have those things as well.
Okay, I just order the normal alcohol beverage they have,
All right,
I suppose.
they do have a special one advertised if you want that. It is known as uh, the fruit of the undersea. You can order that if you wish. You can order an alcoholic and non-alcoholic varieties.
Well, I will be talking to this individual, and I want to be more or less sober. So, give. I would say, give me like a good non-alcoholic beverage, I suppose.
She says, "All right, I'll give you the special," and she walks back. She gives the orders to the man standing next to the bar. He produces 3 jugs. If you're familiar with like the jugs in like Skyrim and stuff, they're like the little jugs, and they have the little stopper on the top for ale and whatnot. That's what he produces. And she comes up back over and sets each one of them in front of the appropriate person. So for Krestos, for your sake, um, it's just fruit juice.
Sure.
But it tastes a little saltier than normal fruit juices. Probably because it's harvested from some sort of fruit that is
Yeah.
undersea. So
Okay.
yep. The other 2 of you have just regular ale.
Yeah.
Nothing surprising about it. Maybe a spice or 2 that you're not used to, but other than that, nothing special.
Mm.
Well, I say cheers and to fortunate futures.
Let's hope that.
All right. So unless you want to talk about anything about your backgrounds or anything.
Oh, we don't really see any reasons to share that with the others yet.
That would be rude.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Just saying, you can do that
Mhm.
now before he arrives, because he takes quite a while to arrive. And one of you has stuff to sell, so you might want to try to hawk it on these people, but I don't know your character's personality.
Well, I can guess you can read mine.
What sort of do you just have leatherworks?
Leatherworks, that's his specialty.
All right, perfect, perfect.
I got the tools for it. I got the tools for it. I got the skill in it.
All right.
Hmm.
So he just sort of mentions in passing, because he is very skilled at bringing up these things, because he's a merchant. He just mentions in passing that he does do leatherworking, so if you need something custom made, he is capable of doing so.
I am your man.
Well, I'm learned in the crafts as well, so that I can actually aid with that if that's needed.
Always nice to find someone interested in the skill. I don't only just make it out, well, fix things. I also tan the skin, make sure it's all well stretched out and all that, the whole process of it. Takes a while, but if you can do it just the right way and take the time, it comes out oh so nice.
Yeah, I made my little wolf friend myself, so.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to armor, you're gonna want to boil it in oils and that sort of thing. To
Yeah.
make it hard. So,
Mm.
yeah, your character would be familiar with all those processes.
The artificer and the warlock are gonna talk shop about leatherworking.
Okay, fair enough.
Leon will play along as he also has leatherworking proficiency.
Yeah, and you also have like construct proficiency because you can create one.
I have 5 tool proficiencies.
So let's say you encountered like a stone golem or something like that. Your character might know a little bit more than the other characters in the group. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind.
Mhm.
So you would have advantage on rolls rather than just regular.
Yeah.
Against those things, which could be fun. All right. So, unless have you found? Do you want to search anything in particular, Krestos? I can throw us back to the world map if you want to get information from particular parts of the world.
Sure.
All right.
So what map we go?
Is there any place in particular you want to get some information from?
What's going on in? Let's see. I am Drow, so is there like what's going on in the Drow society these days?
Oh, fair enough. They do. There is an entire underworld network called the Underdark, just like in other
Mm-hmm.
D&D worlds.
The dark web.
Basically, basically. Yeah. So Drow would mostly focus down there. However, they don't upload much due to the fact that they're relatively secretive. However, there are people who are producing news tidbits about them. However, it's mostly we were attacked by drow in this location. We were attacked by drow in this location. We were also attacked by drow in this location.
So nothing new.
Not really.
Classic Drows.
However, if you're searching for the keyword drow, you can do that, and you can also pick up on perhaps a few other things, and I will roll for that. So do you wish to do that?
Sure.
Alright, you did pretty well. Apparently there are some up-and-comers in the world. Relatively famous people who also happen to be at least part drow. Apparently there's a new member of the royal family in Rubold. However, the drama that is associated with it is that they were illegitimately spawned as part of a unwanted sexual encounter from a drow that was subsequently killed. However, the person kept the spawn until term. So this person was basically like, you're not wanted, and they were put into the city. However, the person discovered their roots and decided to try to make a claim to get some royalty stuff, like just stuff from being like a title, that sort of thing. And there's lots of drama unfolding in regards to that. However,
Okay.
it seems as though they are succeeding due to magical tests of lineage. So their lineage has been proven. It's beyond dispute. It's just
This is getting too political, so I'm just gonna go to Plombo Flomo instead.
all right.
Because that's funny.
All right, that's fine. Plumbo Flumbo is actually a town. It's a city on the Blazing Mount, Port City. Um, but just to finish off with that other thing,
Yep.
yeah, they're actually getting a title. However, it's being argued over what it should be, due to the fact that it's just there's a lot of people who hate them, so there's
Hmm.
lots of argumentation. Anyway, so Plumbo Flumbo, yeah, it's a town, a portside town on the Blazing Mound, and the Blazing Mound is an abnormally large volcano. Um, Almost the entire thing like culminates up into a volcano. There are like everything there is basically like, let's say the whole world is element themed. Everything there is fire. So
Hmm.
there's variation of wolves, except they have like breathe fire and those sorts of things. Even the things in the ocean that surround it are affected by it. Like there are sharks that sometimes beach themselves and like shoot fireballs at people and then drag them back into the ocean. That sort of thing. It's not a great place. However, people have adapted to the location and they've managed to find ways to stave off these creatures. Like one of the more popular things that you see currently going around there is that a bunch of sea slugs have beached themselves in the port and are causing trouble for ships that want to park themselves there because they can basically light the hulls of the ships on fire because they produce this flame, like magma like flame, out of their body. And any ships that try to port near one of these slugs risks catching itself on fire. So a lot of
Mm.
the docks have been blocked off. Um, Also,
Nice.
just another tidbit that you're getting from there. The oceans that surround the Blazing Mound are boiling. So, any creature that survives in that water and any person who wishes to delve deeper into that water has to be able to survive boiling temperatures. So, that's what you're aware of, and it's partially of why it's hard to get information about the oceans that surround the area. Sometimes a mysterious creature will just beach itself or be dead and wash up on the beach, and people will be like, "Oh, cool, a new creature we've never seen before." So, um, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that your character might be interested that come out of that city or
Hmm.
portside city, I guess. So,
Mm.
So I'll be doing that for a while.
all right. If you want to do that, I will roll for that. Yeah, nothing too interesting. Um, there are some bones that have washed up on shore, but they're not sure what they're from. But somebody thought it must have been a slow news day, so they reported it anyway.
Okay.
Other than the stuff at port, not much going on. So, as you're finding out all this information, and the other two are talking shop about
Yeah.
particular techniques that might be useful in leatherworking and different creatures that have different textures of leather, that sort of thing.
Mm.
We'll move back to. I'm glad that I actually thought to put the world map there because we might use it more often than I thought.
Hmm.
So, you head back here. It'll just take me a second because I didn't prepare any NPCs, which I should have done. Um, let's see here. see what I get. Sure, this looks appropriate. Poof. And whoops, I shouldn't have got rid of that, but that's okay. I'll just find it manually. Poof. And poof. Oops, huge. Be one square sized. Thank you. Okay. So a minotaur walks out from behind the bar, because there's a kitchen behind the bar, which I should have made a part of the map, but this is the main common room that you guys can see. So, you see a minotaur walk out from the back room. Heavy footfalls from its hooves can be heard throughout the room, which is what gets at least most of your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And the minotaur just walks over and sits at the only other chair available at your table.
Yeah, I think that would get my attention.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's like 8 feet tall, so it's easy to notice him. And he just sits down in the chair. The chair sounds like it's groaning under his weight and might give out under his weight, but it doesn't. He just looks at you all. So, looking for any?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, he isn't able to come today.
When is he able to come?
Well, I do have his wishes for what he wants you to do, if that's what you're here to find out.
Go on.
Alright. He reaches behind himself. He has this leather pack on his back. He opens it and without even looking behind himself, he like unties the straps and everything, opens the pack, pulls out a book, places it on the table. Alright, so we're looking for some things. He starts opening the book. It's like a full-fledged novel with how big this thing is and how many words there are per page. And he just starts flipping through it. We're looking for some magical objects. We're also looking for some other information. Don't worry, you'll get paid for each thing you manage to bring to us.
Okay, what are these items we are supposed to gather?
He just sighs and he's looking through this
Novel.
novel-sized book to see where there's sections that have blanks, basically. And then he goes, and he goes, well, you guys don't look overly powerful, so I want to start with something simple. See if you can find anything on it. Fuck's sake. Yeah, fuck's sake. And then he just opens to a page that's nearly completely blank. Alright, let's start here. We have heard some rumors about a new fish cult. Let me see. They're mostly made out of Sahagan. They want to destroy the city. At least that's the rumors we've heard. We like living in the city, so we don't want this to happen. If you can find out
Obviously.
anything about this and potentially anything about their plans, we'll let you know a little bit more about what we want found.
And they are by the water side, correct?
Well, if they were operating openly around here, they would be arrested.
Well, they can also do it hidden, so they could also be on, well, the air
Exactly.
side.
Which is why we're testing your skills. If you're capable of finding any information using your expertise to find this information, we'll give you one set of whatever it is you're looking for, depending on how valuable the information is.
Okay. So does just check this cult as far as I got and figure something out with them then?
Yeah, just get any information you can. He shows you the book. As you can see,
Mm.
all we've got is their name. And I'll spell it out
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Sahagan.
Oh,
Sahagan
that's
is
the
the name of a
race.
race.
Yeah.
They're normally evil. They're like fish humanoids, basically.
Very big fish humans.
There is the name of the cult. Ubagrokin.
Sounds like something from Skyrim. Sounds like a word of power. Ubagroken.
Kind of, yeah. It kind of sounds like that.
I would
We don't.
assume they are staying in the watery area, or
You can assume what you wish, but I'm sure that if they wish to destroy the city, they'll need to flood the aerated side.
Well, or just, you know, remove the magic that keeps the water out.
Correct.
Or,
But
you
in
know, they
order
can
to
go
do that, they would have to know the nature of the magic. So they may have
or
agents over here.
you know, even get a bigger play, have the whole city be moved into the water without removing the air pocket.
Well, we do have some theories on how they wish to destroy this area.
mm.
Such as if they reinstated the current, everything would be washed away. But, again, if they wish to destroy the aerated side, they would still have to remove the magics that are causing the water to be prevented from entering. So again, they may have agents over here. Perhaps they may not. We haven't learned much. We've just found out about this, which is what makes it relatively easy for you to find more information than, say, some of these other things that we've been working on for years. So,
Okay.
sound good to you guys?
This I can do.
Seems reasonable.
Indeed. Seems very reasonable.
Alright. He stands up from the table. Remember, Uba Groken. And he closes the book, puts it in his satchel on his back, and he starts to walk into the back.
Our information serving friend. What can you find on your info dump, please?
About the hidden cult, probably not much.
You don't know. Perhaps there are snippets like here, that, and such, and so. You never know.
Stark walking out of the tavern.
Well, that's just rude.
Alright. So, we'll say that he is at least standing outside the tavern.
Well, should we go follow then? I never catched your name.
You speaking to me or speaking to
Yeah, speaking
Joe?
to you, you're the only one that's still here.
Oh, okay. Leon.
Oh, Leon. Well, Utsal, pleasure to meet you.
The
Well, should
Minotaur shouts out to you, I'll be staying here if you need me for help for anything.
Of
Although, if
course,
you use me for too much help, we might not see you as useful.
obviously.
Fair enough.
Well, let's get going.
Mm.
Alright, so you guys leave the tavern. The city
Yeah.
of Aquanball is at your disposal. The city of Aquanball has pretty much every amenity that you can think of. If you need to buy armor, find an armorer. If you need to buy weapons, perhaps the same armorer would have that weapon for you. If you're looking for magic, you go to a place where there's magic, like maybe a wizard's tower, or perhaps just a library might work. Depends on what you're looking for. So, again, what would you like to do?
Well, we're supposed to gather information.
They are most likely living on the water side. We ask information from creatures there about them.
Well, you never know. Like we said before, there might be also here on the air side. Sure, they live there, but they can also have people on this side setting things into motion in this side, of course.
You guys see a large fish swimming by through the air in one of those water spheres.
Do we know what the race looks like?
Sahagin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the fish, if that's what you're worried about.
Okay.
They look humanoid, but their heads are fish and they have gills, those sorts of things.
Oh.
All 9 yards.
Okay.
They're basically looking similar to male mermaid in a way, as far as I remember. But their head are a bit more like angler fishes.
I will throw you up a picture because at least one of you is familiar with what these things look like because he lives in the city. Yeah, I spelt it wrong.
Always fun to have a wrong spelling.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm just gonna throw it in the chat on general.
Chat.
I'm gonna throw it in the chat on general. Actually, there's a chat for Devouring Dark, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'll throw it in there.
Yeah. And only those in Devouring Dark can see it.
Yeah, we'll have to add a few more people, I guess, but that's fine. Not worried
Yeah.
about that. For now, at least. Yeah, this picture will work. Oh, I can't just drag and drop? Okay, never mind. I'll just save it. Okay, I spelled it right that time. Oof. Since I'm gonna have to... Oh, I'll put it in the chat. I had to download it anyway, but there you go. I don't know why, but I did. Wouldn't let me show it the way I wanted to show it.
It's a bit weird with some things, yeah.
Okay.
That's what they look like.
So do you guys want to search the air side first?
We can
Seems
start
like.
to look around for someone.
Mm-hmm.
See if any fishmen that might have a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So you're just doing a patrol. Walking around.
Kinda.
Any of you want to do an investigation check, you can be helped by one of your allies.
Sure, I can do one.
Yeah, I'll be helping out.
Is the sun out here?
It's daytime, so yes, but it is
Fuck.
slightly, the
Beamed
light,
due to the water.
yeah, slightly.
Yeah, so do I still get disadvantage?
Yes, unfortunately, yes, for now.
Okay.
So 14.
For me, at
Start
least.
walking around looking for people of similar description to
Mm.
a Sahagin looks like. And you do manage to find some. And I'm going to roll.
Well, before we find them, I would like to discuss with the party what the plan is. So, you find one of these creatures. What do you do? Do you just ask where your cult is? Because we can't do
No.
that.
That would be
We
pretty stupid to do.
Can't
So
be
tell
obvious in
me.
what we ask for. What would probably be the best would be like, I don't know, act like we play along, kind of want to be with them. I'm not sure. There's a possibility.
Pretend I am one of them. Now, make conversation. Good talk.
You're pulling me on the fucking torture chamber. Okay.
What?
Make conversation. Nobody says anything.
Next conversation. I'm trying to think of something to say. That's the thing.
Yes, that's why we need plan. And from the looks of it, you have no plan.
No, but
Well, what are your plans then?
Well, I told you. We go to waterside. We ask questions.
Right, and do you have amulets for all three of us?
We can go to guard. They will provide us. No problem.
Sure. And then what? Once we're in the water side, what then?
yeah.
We find these creatures. I can use some of my magic to convince them.
Mm-hmm.
That is possible, yes.
And that definitely won't put us on the radar. Definitely not. No radar at all. Wait, we would.
Oh, do you have better plan? Do tell.
Well, asking general information is pretty suspicious, I would say. I say we just look around, keep our ears open, see what's being said, gather small pieces of info which become bigger pieces of info. I mean, if we put together, we have one big piece of info we can use.
And you think they will just talk about this cult in the middle of streets?
Like I said, tiny pieces of info make a big piece of info. They could be like, have you heard about this? Have you heard rumors of so? I heard this, and then they say it's a silly joke, but or it's just rumors, or it's not true. But we can put things together that they can't.
Very well, I will see your plan, Mr. Detective.
Well, I'll be going back to my work then. I mean, best place to gather info is just working for me.
We can try. Do your merchant talk to them?
No, just general work and keep my ears open.
Yes, that is a possibility.
Oh, where should we meet again? And how soon and when and where?
We meet tavern tomorrow. Same time.
Okay, tomorrow, same time it is.
And we share what we find.
Yep.
Okay.
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 So, since you helped him, somebody helped Leon, right?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I did.
Geo did.
So that means that you would have to look with him for at least a certain amount of time.
I
Mhm.
do.
Okay. Because if you all split up and went your separate ways, you can't help each other. Just saying.
That's true.
That's fair.
Okay. I am just pulling up a thing. Bob. Just pull up a thingamabob. Just to pull up
A
a
thingy bob, a pingity bob. Beep up.
Here it is. Okay. So you two are traveling together, and you managed to find one. And I
Mm.
rolled to see what. Okay. So. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, so what I need right now is. Okay. Okay. So you see some. You see like a group of 3 of them standing there talking to what appears to be a human.
Mm.
And they're just like standing next to a market stall. Since you guys were headed back to. I'll just say that you were headed back to Ustal's stall.
Is that there's the human they're talking to behind the stall, or is that just a random guy in the street?
It's just a random dude in the street.
Okay, gotta listen to what they're talking about.
Alright. As you attempt to get closer to them,
Mm.
they notice that they directly look at you, notice that you are walking towards them, looking at them, and they just walk away.
Yeah, okay.
I rolled a natural 20 for their perception.
Oh yeah, even if I rolled a good stealth, it wouldn't help.
Yeah.
Well, unless I rolled nat 20, but I have disadvantage because scale mail, so.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, they just look at you, notice that you're watching them, and you even, like, try to look away, and they're gone. They walk away. You can try to
Kind of
follow
like
them, but I'll just warn you, people who are being followed don't tend to like that. Just saying.
I was just trying to get a bit closer to listen to what we're talking about, but if I don't get that chance, then I won't have.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because you were looking at them to get closer to them, and they noticed that you were staring at them and left.
There.
And just so you know,
Well,
I'll just say this because Krestos would have known this. Sahagin usually only speak a language that is unique to them.
Mm,
So if they're speaking to a human, that is strange.
okay.
Either the Sahagin have learned Common, probably, or the human has learned their language. Unfortunately, you didn't get close enough to listen in on what they were
Is the
speaking.
human still there? Or how is the
No,
human reacting?
no, the human left with them.
Oh, it left with them.
Yeah, they walked down an alleyway.
ah, bummer.
Well, yeah.
You can, like I said, you can try to follow them if you want, but if you get caught, it'll blow a lot of
Yeah.
minds. They just noticed you were looking at them and didn't like that. So, what do you want to do? You do remember the spot that you met them, so if you want to go back there later, you can try to do that, but other than that, right now, it's either follow them or not. So, what do you want to do?
Mm, we can follow, but I say it's a bit too risky.
Okay.
What do you say?
Oh, with weird best, I doubt that it's the best idea to follow them, though.
Alright.
Oh,
Yeah, they
I'm
were just
going with
standing in
you.
the middle of the marketplace. They were right next to a stall. So, perhaps somebody overheard
What
them.
stall?
It
What stall would I with?
it looks like an exotic fruit stand.
Oh, exotic foods.
Yeah, like things that wouldn't grow natively to anywhere near this area.
They went down the alleyway close to that stall, right?
Yes. They sort of like
Okay,
patted
then
each
they
other.
should be too
Like
far.
one of them glanced over, patted the others on the shoulder, and just like ushered them into the alleyway.
Okay, then they shouldn't be too far away, so I'm gonna browse some foods.
Okay. You do so. They have mangoes and they even have some like bog fruit, which are from where your character would have been born.
I'm not only listening to browsing foods, but I'm trying to listening in.
Okay, so you're trying to listen for chatter. There is a crowd
Yeah,
here because it is like a market bazaar sort of situation. So there's people walking back and forth.
fair, fair.
So you do have to roll. You don't just
Thy
instantly
God
get it.
be with me. Nope.
Yeah, unfortunately, a large crowd of a mix of humans and dwarves walks by and drowns out anything that you could have possibly heard. Like you hear from like 5 or 6 different dwarves, and you don't hear anything.
Mm.
I'm gonna take 5 bockwood.
All
Just to
right.
not seem suspicious.
He he says, since they're exotic fruit, they cost a little more. Uh, 5 silver, since you took 5. Each one's a silver.
I give him a gold, and then I get 5 silver in return.
He's a merchant, so he has change there for you.
Mhm.
So what do you want
Always
to do?
nice, these. Always, if you just know how to crack them right, then they always give the best uses.
They taste kind of like durian, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
That's what this kind of fruit is.
And so put them in my bag away.
Yep, so you can add those to your inventory. You've bought them.
Already
You
did
can just
so.
add them to your rations, which you can eat. One is counted as a ration if you want,
Mm,
or you can just add them
Okay.
individually.
Okay, then I'll add them to the rations. Huzzah, I have more rations now.
Yeah, they're decent size. They're like the size of a watermelon, so they could feed you for a day if need be.
Mhm.
All right.
Excuse me for a moment there. I just have to check on my stall for a second.
Okay, so you start heading towards your stall. It's
Well,
not that.
I turn around the corner and I use my very special ability I have.
Oh, what is that?
Uh, that's for my subclass.
Okay, what do you
It's
got?
called Bottle Respite from a
Great.
genie vessel.
Okay, great. So what do you want to do with it?
It allows me literally to go into, well, my genie vessel, which in this case is a ring.
Okay, so you're going inside a ring.
Magically.
Okay,
I do, of course, out of sight, out of mind.
okay. So you go inside the ring. The ring drops to the ground.
Hmm.
Okay,
Of course, not just like, yeah, go right there, no, hand on something. Okay, now.
okay. So it is on something.
Mhm.
Sure, but your ring is just sort of sitting there.
Yeah, for just a few moments as I just drop off my uh, food, and I've a few things in there, like, let's just go off the list. My rations, my backpack, my crowbar, my hammer, my pythons, my torches, my
His ring is his bag
tinderbox.
of holding,
Yes.
basically.
Is it I literally have a cylinder of 20 foot to put stuff in. 20 foot by 20 foot.
Is it? What does it look like inside? Is it like a
Oh,
house? Does it have furniture, or is it just a thing?
I'll just throw that. Let me just throw that on screen because apparently didn't add a little tab for that. So let me just quickly make that tab.
So does it like have a chair in there or something for
I'm
you? A
mad, mad.
bed?
I'm busy with that. There. It's like, well, the journey of the vessel is an extra dimensional space in the shape of 20-foot radius cylinder, 20 feet height, and resembles your vessel. Interior is appointed with cushions and flow tables and is comfortably temperature. While inside you can hear the area around your vessel as if you were in its space. You can remain inside the vessel up to a number of hours equal to twice your proficiency bonus.
So that's like 4.
Yeah, now. And later on I can just be there for half a day.
Yeah.
It's a handy dandy mini bag of holding. And also sleeping place when I need to sleep.
Okay. So you went into the. Did you go into the alleyway where the Sahagin went,
But then I
or
don't need.
a
Well, if
different one? That's a
I
question that I
could,
need.
I could play it real fucking smart, but I did say out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, so you went into an alleyway. Which one? Like just a random one, or the one the
Let's
Sahagin went
see.
at?
The one in the Sahara, and I was like, just, oh, this is the closest one. Yes, this could work. Hopefully, don't spot me.
Okay, you vanish.
And I can
Did you?
still hear outside.
Yes, that's fine. However, did you want to be stealthy or not?
Let's see what my sneak says tells me, because I need to be stealthy. It's an 11! Yay!
Alright, let's see if they see you. There is a chance that they can't, so.
Come on,
So-
roll low! Come on!
No.
Just for perspective, he just went, bought some fruit, then went to an alley and vanished.
Yes.
Okay.
For
Yeah, I
perspective, he
will.
said that he had to go somewhere, like he told you, and then he
Yeah.
went into
Okay.
the alley and vanished.
I'll
Yeah,
try
you,
to ask
thought,
around if
you
I
thought,
can, if anyone overheard the Sahagan talking that.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
so
I
we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Because this is
I
happening
was,
first.
I was
Mhm.
stealthy enough.
Yeah, I rolled an 18.
I'm gonna like, "Oh, quite heavy these things."
So as you're disappearing, you look towards them and you notice that one is looking directly at you as you vanish inside.
And I'm like, oh, stop! I can't.
However, you're still inside by the time you realize, oh yeah, that guy was looking at me.
Okay, now I need to stay here for the foreseeable future, or until they. Perhaps he just thinks it was a ghost. Who knows?
Okay, I'm gonna roll a thing.
I mean, it's not very well known that this is possible.
Okay, so a Sahagin, since you're still able to see, right?
No, I can only hear outside.
Okay, so you hear somebody walk up towards the area where your ring was,
Mhm.
and you hear metal scrape against whatever it is that you placed it on. And now it
Mhm.
is being lifted towards somebody. Somebody's picking up the ring.
Oh shit.
Alright, so before we tell the results of whatever happens there, you're putting your fruit away since you're there anyway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, okay, if I come out now, it will be very weird and very suspicious.
Okay, so we're gonna switch over to Leon.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what you wanted to ask somebody nearby to see if they overheard him?
I asked anyone that was nearby if I saw any people and any bystanders, or the one in the stall, if they overheard a conversation with the Sahagan and the guy.
So I'm gonna get you to roll an investigation to see if you noticed anybody beforehand.
Okay.
It's not necessarily gonna give you nobody to ask, but it might give you more. So
23.
alright, you noticed a tiefling that walked away and is at a different stall now, but they were nearby while they were talking. And you also noticed the vendor was nearby. So
Mm-hmm.
you can talk to either of those people, although if you take too long, the tiefling might walk away somewhere else. You noticed
I
the
would.
tiefling was near the fruit stall while they were talking and then walked over somewhere else.
Mm. I'll wait for. I'll like keep an eye on the tiefling, like wait for him to like get a bit away from the stall. Then I'll go over and try and talk to
Okay, so the tiefling walks to a clothier, so somebody
him.
who
Mm-hmm.
sells clothes. Um, Decent distance away, like 30, 40 feet away.
Yeah.
Is that sufficient?
Yeah.
Alright, you walk over.
Mm. Excuse me, sir. I get it was a male, right?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Okay.
I just said tiefling.
Just
That's
said
fine.
just said tiefling, so
Yeah, that's fine.
I just went
This
straight for
character
sure.
isn't a
So
main character, so I don't really care.
okay.
Dude looks over. Hey.
Yeah. So he was nearby with those Sahagans speaking to the guy. Did you hear anything they said?
Yeah, that was actually weird. Don't really get very many in the aerated side.
Yeah, that's for
Strange.
sure.
Let me think. He's gonna try to see if he remembers anything that they said, because he wasn't really paying attention.
Sure. At least try.
Oh, crap. He
Oh,
rolled a
yeah,
4 plus 4, so 8.
Okay, so he don't remember shit.
So
Well, he was close by to it, so
he was, but he wasn't paying attention is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just viewed them as people. Like, unless they're attacking him, then he wouldn't. He would just let them do what they're doing.
Yeah.
He's not like a guard or anything. So,
Yeah.
he goes, the only thing I remember them saying was some sort of weird word that I've never heard before.
Was it? Did you recognize if it was common or?
Well, I don't know what language. Or something like Ubagroken? Don't know.
Okay. Was
Don't
that the
know.
only thing you heard from them? No, that helps a bit.
Alright.
Was that the
Sorry,
only word we heard from?
sorry, I was focused on my
Oh, no.
grocery list.
Oh, that's all. That's all right, right? Like, groceries important too.
You can see that he has like a cloth bag under his arm and it's full of stuff.
Yeah, it was just. They might be bad news. I was just making sure if they weren't planning some bad stuff. So
Sorry, as long as they're not committing a crime, I wasn't paying attention.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Alright, well.
Well, thanks for
Sorry I
help at
couldn't be
least.
more help.
It happens. Can't hear everything.
Alright, so you start to turn back towards the market stall. You notice that one of the Sahagin is where Ustal disappeared. And he's holding something.
Oh, is it like a guy or is it like a Hagen?
It's a Sahagin.
Okay, I'll try to go over.
And you're not
There's only one?
racist or anything, but it looks similar to the
No.
ones that were there before, so you assume it's the same ones.
Yeah. I can make assumptions.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you want to do?
I'll go over to. It was just one in the alley picking up where Ustal went.
Yeah, there's one there. The other ones are in the alley, and they're sort of looking to see what happens to the other guy.
Okay, I'll. They're just looking at the ring, right?
Yeah, he's picked up the object. You can hardly tell what it is. But
I just see a small object.
Yeah, it's a small object.
Okay, that can't be good. It just is Hagen, not the human, right?
Just the Sahagin. The human is
yeah.
also with the Sahagin, and he seems impatient. But otherwise, you can't really tell.
I'll walk over to Hagen.
Okay.
If I get closer to a seed, that is a ring.
Yes, you do see that he is holding a ring, and it is in the exact location where Ustal's hand was when he disappeared.
Okay, I'll try to say in common, see if they understand it. I see. You found my wedding ring. I'm sorry, I lost that. Could I have that back?
I'm gonna need you to roll a deception first.
Okay, I'm gonna use my racial ability to add a d6 to that.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's actually brilliant.
Ooh, I need a d6. 12.
That's a decent added to your bonus there. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah, I have 2 times per long rest. I can add a d6 to any skill check.
yeah, that's a
Oh
powerful ability.
god.
That is a powerful
I
ability.
tried.
You tried that. That's the important part. You tried if they roll. Oh god.
So 12 you got?
Yep.
Yeah,
The,
12 total.
you
Okay.
think they're not very insightful? I
That's fine.
hope.
Because you're not rolling against the Sahagin, you're rolling against the human because he's the only one who
Oh.
can understand you.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna show this roll
That's fair.
so that way you can see it. And it is lucky that you're deceiving the human rather than the other creature.
Mhm.
The other creature has a bit better, I think. No, wait, it's worse.
Oh,
It's worse, actually.
Just hope they're all shit.
Never mind.
Let's hope they're all
yeah.
shit. Just hope they're all shit.
11?
Thank God.
So the Sahagin just looks at you, and it goes, and the human responds back, and the Sahagin goes, and he just gives it to you.
Thank you. I'll leave them be. I'll take the ring and walk away.
Alright.
So I also heard that conversation.
Yep.
Yep. So
I got ammo to use.
they appear to be speaking a language you don't understand. Because I
Yeah.
assume you don't have the Sahagin language as one of your languages.
No. I just assume it is a Sahagin language.
Yeah. He just gets the Sahagin knows that there's something up, but the human was convinced that you were telling the truth. So he's just like, he gives it back to you.
So glad I used that knowledge of
Yeah.
past life.
Okay. So, you have the ring in your possession.
Okay, I'll find a bit away from these organs, like a something, and then
Most
wait,
quiet
hold on to it.
place.
Yeah, find a more quiet place and then wait until Ustal comes back from the ring.
Okay. Yeah. So, Ustal,
Yeah.
you did hear what just happened. And the fact
Yeah.
that it worked, it didn't convince you at all. So the fact that it worked, in your opinion, is like, what? Why did that work?
Yeah, after a little, I'm just come pop out of the ring. Just like ring is still back on his finger. I don't know how you're holding it.
Yeah, so what I'll say is it's sort of like a genie from a bottle situation. So you like smoke comes out and you just sort of like form next to him, but your hand is rested on his hand.
Oh, I didn't know you offered that gracefully.
I just tried to get you out of the bad situation. Don't play it that far on that.
Oh no, no. I mean, you're quite the ladies man. I can definitely see that with a beautiful wedding ring. He's just teasing you now.
Take that how you wish, but yeah, I just took that and hoped it worked, and it seemed to work.
It
Better
surely did,
than
and I must say, brilliant job, my friend. I would have been stuck for there for a long time if they didn't drop the ring and if they took it to the water. Oh boy, I would have been so very outscored. Well, I could have gone to their headquarters, who knows?
Yeah, and if you would have done that, you can only stay in there for a certain amount of time, so you would
4 hours.
Yeah, you would just appear next to them, and that might have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, time to become an Eldritch Cannon.
Well, those Zagan mentioned the name we were looking for, so I presume they have something to move with them.
Oh, that's good. But I doubt you speak their language, and neither do I. Well, no, I don't.
Well,
I just asked one that overheard.
What better way to be secretive than to speak a language almost no one speaks?
Yeah.
Just like abyssal.
Yeah, but they have a racial language, so
Yeah.
and nobody
Yeah.
speaks it. So.
Many like creature and demons have like own language that is like named the race
Yeah,
or
exactly.
creature there.
There's quite a few actually.
Well, what did you find out? Because my little intro got me a bit worried. Yeah.
The only thing I figured out was that they mentioned Ubagrocken. Other than that, I didn't get much. The one I asked hadn't heard too much. He was not fully listening to it.
Well, then they surely are our target. Perhaps we can get the human somehow to, well, we can persuade him to listen to us.
Well, I have my moments with that, but I'm not per se good at it.
Oh no, I mean we can persuade. Wink, wink. Magic.
I don't have that, so do you?
I do.
Okay, then if that, you can try that.
Yeah, but we do need the human alone, not with his fishy friends.
Okay, so what you are suggesting, we follow them, or?
Oh, we just follow them at a safe distance that they don't get suspicious. And once the human is alone, I can cast my little magic, and he will be my little puppet.
I'll see if that. Well, I guess we can try that.
Indeed.
So yeah. We will try to follow the Sahagin group at a safe distance.
Okay, even at a safe distance, you still need to roll stealth. And since
Oh
there's
yeah.
2 of you, you have to roll for each of you. One
Oh
for
yeah.
Here we go.
I got good stealth mod, bro.
Nice.
I'm wearing light armor, so I don't know why that didn't come up. Oh, I'm wearing medium armor, so 12.
Oh my god. This is
What kind of medium armor are you wearing?
Scale mail.
Yeah, that gives you disadvantage.
And
Yeah.
you rolled at disadvantage.
Yeah, I did.
So, yeah.
Lost
But-
some money. But...
Are
Oh
you
god.
are you running group check so the average is not 1?
Group check only applies to a group of 3 or more.
Okay.
Oh god, I would have made it a 7 if it was a group check.
But still,
Yep.
7 is super crappy.
Yep.
Most
I
thing
just
I'm a
fucking,
passive of 10, so.
I'm not built for stuff. I'm more to sell things to people.
Okay.
And let
I'm
them work.
okay. I'm okay at stealth. But...
Well,
You guys are gonna
roll
die.
to see if they see the other guy.
Yeah, I tried to stop it, just fall face first into the ground.
Their perception is +5, so they got a 14,
So the-
so they do notice both of you.
Yeah,
However,
we're just chit-chatting as well, so we're trying to obscure it.
Seeing him fall, kind of like try to like make it like
so here, no,
seem
no,
like we're
that's
not.
not. That's not what happens. You guys are just
Okay, what
naturally
happens?
walking. However,
Yeah.
the Sahagin that noticed Ushtal go into the ring just turns around, looks back, and then he says something to the others of the group, and they just start booking it. They're just running.
Okay,
Mhm.
we're following.
Okay. So you're running
Okay.
after them?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So it is a chase sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So, how this works is you have to either try to do things to catch up to them, or they
Mhm.
have to do things to try to prevent you from catching up. Since you can move the same speed as they do, this is how it works.
Mhm.
So they're going to try to do things to prevent you from catching up, and you're
Yeah.
going to have to try to do things to catch up. So,
Okay.
so the first thing they do is they run by a market stall. They see that you're still chasing them. They just turn around, dump the entire market stall out into the street, and you guys need to roll dexterity saving throws.
Oh god.
Allez.
Oh.
Haha! I'm doing
Alright.
fine.
This wasn't a hard dexterity save, lucky for you guys. So 10 is sufficient. So you managed to
Mhm.
not trip over yourselves and fall flat on your face.
Fair.
So you're keeping pace. You're keeping pace with them.
Mhm.
So they have had a turn to do something to prevent you from catching up. So now you have a chance to try to do something to try to catch up. What would you like to do?
Well, seeing we mostly want the human. I'll send the defender along the side of the stall
Mhm.
and try to tackle down the human.
Okay.
And
So you need
I.
to catch up to him
Yeah.
first before you tackle
Yeah.
him, right? So that just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that just
is,
makes sense.
how fast is the defender? Is it faster than you?
40 feet. It's faster than me.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it
faster
has
than
40
him.
feet.
Yeah,
Great.
40 feet.
Then they have a certain amount of turns until you catch up. So, the
Uh,
defender at least.
Yeah.
So.
So I'll send that to try to focus on the human to get him.
Okay, so the shield defender is going to
The steel defender. Yeah.
steel defender. Yes, shield
Yeah.
defender is a different thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
A more annoying thing.
It can be, yes.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you two would like to do to try to catch up, or are you just defending?
I can throw a persuasion like, "Excuse me, sirs. Excuse me, ladies. Watch out! There's someone coming your way." Just like distract them for a moment so that they do bump into them.
Actually, I do have a thing that could happen, so I'll need you to roll a persuasion check. Not bad.
It's not horrible. It's not horrible.
So the guards see that you are chasing somebody, and actually want to prevent them from running away, so that way they can try to discern what's happening. So they try to
Even
jump in
more
front of
people.
they try to jump in front of the group. So it's a guard versus their strength. Sahagin are not very strong.
Thought they were. It might be me looking for
They have
thinking
a
of a different
+1.
group.
They have a +1 modifier.
Oh, the Merfolk was the strong ones. I think they had a +4 or something.
Wow. Okay, so Hagen rolled a natural 1. Let's see what the guards
Grab.
roll. Let's see what the guards roll. The guards are strong, so they have a decent modifier on their grab. They rolled a 3 total, but that's still more.
Yeah.
So the guards managed to grab. Yeah, they'll grab all the Sahagin. The human, however, continues to run away. So since you told the defender to continue chasing
Focus
you,
on
it will continue chasing you.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're after the human.
Okay, so the guards are like, "What is this all about?" And the Sahagin are just like, trying to get away from you.
Healthy things, bad things.
However, do you run past the guards to try to catch the human, or do you stop?
Can you handle him for yourself?
The human?
Yes.
I can try.
I can.
I'm not alone. I have a dog. I have a steel. I have a wolf.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I can talk to the guards because I'm the more charismatic of us two. No offense.
So yeah, I'll keep chasing the human.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just talk with the guards.
All right. So, since you guys did do something to try to prevent them, it is now the human's turn to try to do something. And for the one who stayed back, the Sahagin don't stop screaming or clawing at the guards. They're just like, "No, I don't want to be caught. No."
Poor guards.
Poor guards indeed. There now, little one. Don't worry, it won't be too bad.
Yeah,
You won't.
I'll let you try to convince them, but I want to get the chase sequence done first. So, your steel defender is 2 turns away. However, if he gets tripped up, he can potentially lose track of them. So,
Oh no.
what they try to do to lose track of you guys is they duck into or the human does. He ducks into an alley. So he's going to roll a stealth. May as well just tell you that that's what he's doing because.
Yeah, I figured.
All right, I have that total. So, you got your steel defender and you run into the alley. I need you to roll a perception.
For both or just me? The dog. It has
can
a
roll
perception.
2. The dog can roll 2.
Let me find a sheet.
Because the dog is looking for him. That's what you told him to do.
Yeah. That's the same perception as me. So. That's the dog. That's the dog.
Dog spotted enemy.
So you don't see, because I may as well tell you, he rolled a 16.
Oh,
Oh,
So
so
you
close.
don't see him, but the dog just lunges forward at what looks like a pile of garbage and manages to grab him.
Mhm.
So you got the human.
Yeah.
He wasn't expecting it, so he is grabbed. He can still
Yeah.
try to escape on subsequent turns, but
Mhm.
the human is grabbed and he is being pulled out of a pile of garbage that was in the middle of the alleyway.
Okay. I'll have the dog basically lock him in place. Basically stand atop him if he's on the ground.
Okay, so what it does is
Mhm.
it's grabbed him by the leg and pulled him out of the
Mhm.
garbage, and then
Yeah.
it leaps on top of him, its paws on his arms, and its jaws around his throat, but it's not biting.
Okay. I just stand and look intimidating.
Okay. He goes, "What? Is this about the
Just had some
ring?
quick. No, this is about the other thing.
What other thing?
Ubagrocken.
Oh, how do you know that name?
I have connections.
Fuck. I, I don't really know anything about it. They're just an organization that wants to order supplies from me.
And you have any idea where they have base? Any idea
Well,
what they are looking for?
in the water somewhere, obviously. There's a
Yeah,
hub.
obviously. Yeah. But any particular items they're ordering for you? Weapons, food?
They're ordering
Carriers.
disenchantment items.
Oh,
Interesting. Yeah, I
Apparently,
mean,
there's something real big that they want to make less magical.
that's
I
understandable.
see. He is in the brains of the operations.
This guy is just a guy that they're ordering supplies from. And they were
Yeah.
negotiating a deal, is what you're getting from this.
It's quite odd that you know their language, though.
Hey, man, I know half the languages of people who come and go here.
Fair
Hagen
enough.
is just one of them.
I mean, it's handy to do trade with the people in town you're literally based in.
However, the knowledge that you got from your newfound companion, who is currently not with you guys,
Mm-hmm.
they're usually evil. Although one of the people that you're working with is usually evil as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen oddities around.
so he could just be assuming that they're just dudes who want stuff. Like he wants to sell his product, is what you're getting. He's a merchant, so it's not like he's doing anything malicious by selling to him. The
Profit is
malicious part
profit.
is what they want to do with it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fair, you want the money, but you know they're usually not exactly the nicest to work with.
Hey, don't judge a book by its cover.
Fair enough, but yeah, Sahagan have a reputation.
All right, man, just let me go and I'll tell you what you want to know.
If you try to run away, I'll get that dog to bite your leg off.
All right, man. All right. Yeah,
Okay,
he's
I'll command the dog to move away from
yeah,
him.
because he's just got civilian stats. You could easily kill him if you needed to.
Yeah, I won't kill him without reason. Though. It was basically just to make sure he doesn't run.
All right, man. As he gets up from the ground,
Mm.
is there
The
anything
dog
else
is
you
like
want to
keeping
know?
an eye on him. Any information you can give of them.
They just want to order huge amounts of supplies for disenchantment, like lots,
Okay.
hundreds, thousands of gold worth, thousands of
Okay.
platinum worth if they could not negotiate the price down.
Any idea where they have the money from? I know crime is basically normal on the water side.
When it comes to people who are from the water side, I don't ask questions where they get their money from. Otherwise,
Okay.
I wouldn't get paid from anyone over there.
So you're ordering huge amounts of disenchantment material or items.
Yeah, they even wanted me to enchant something to create a non-magical field, like no
Like an
one can
anti-magic
get to.
field.
Yeah, anti-magic field. Yeah.
Okay. Well, being that there are fish people, whatever they want to be called,
Sahagin.
I have a feeling what that might be, but I won't make assumptions.
Hey man, I wasn't asking questions. They
Huh.
did give me the
Anything
the
else, or
organization though.
just gave that name out like it was candy?
I just asked them what the name on the bill was gonna be, and that's what they told me.
Okay. He's noting all this down in a book.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. I just sell things.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, he gave us more info than we could ever dream of.
At least you give us more than what the Sagan would if we captured them. So, because none of us speak that language.
Unless you were lucky and found one that was not only willing to
Yeah.
speak with you, but was capable of speaking the language. Yeah, it's not
Mhm.
entirely common that they speak common, because they see no reason
Yep.
to. Because most of their ideals deal with only their race. They just
Well
needed
then.
supplies they didn't have access to, so then they came over here looking for someone who could speak to them.
Well, anything else, or was that all you can tell?
Well, I don't really know much else. They were just ordering supplies from me.
Fair enough.
Now look, I won't press any charges against you. I understand you're doing an investigation.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure out some things.
Alright,
Sorry for
well,
chasing you down.
as things stand, they already have a deal put through. They were just negotiating prices.
Well, we'll see what we
I
can do.
can't stop it unless I want to lose a lot of money and make a lot of suppliers angry.
Not sure money is important for everyone. Any idea when the order goes through? Like when it gets sent?
Well, they already have some of the supplies. They just are waiting on the rest. Like they wanted to buy a kingdom's worth of stuff.
So is that like something that comes daily, or is like everything coming in one bundle?
Depends on where it's from. Some of it's coming from places like down south of the Battlelands. Some places
Mm.
it's coming across the ocean.
So we have a few days, possibly.
Well, depends. They did want it express shipped, so it's coming on the airships. But we don't have an airship station in the city due to being underwater.
Where's the closest airship station?
It's about 5 miles outside the city.
And roughly how much would I know of like an airship and how fast they would travel? Say they come from the Battlelands. Do I know how long it would take for them to get with an airship to the dock?
They travel pretty quickly. You could
Yeah.
get from one side of the world to the other in at most 2 days.
Okay, so it can be a matter of hours or minutes.
Yes, but they need to get the supplies, load them on first, and
Mm-hmm.
then put
And it
them
was
on
a
the
huge
ship.
bundle, so
Yeah. And it may be more than one airship depending on how many supplies are coming from whichever place. And the thing you would be aware of, airships ride the ley lines, which is the same thing that your bard friend, uses to access the internet and stuff.
Mm.
So if they
Yeah.
go too far from the ley lines, then they basically start floating to the ground slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get stuck outside of where a ley line is, then they need to like manually push it back to near a ley line so it'll fly again. So that's how those things work. But most of the major cities just so happen to be under a ley line
That's
or within a few miles of a ley line.
okay.
So,
Well, if that's all you can share,
well, I mean, I can sell you something, but it's probably not what you're looking for.
I'm a bit short on money, so I don't think I can do that.
Well, I mean, if you ever want to disenchant something, I got all the goods. Or enchant something. That's my main business. Usually people do want to
No,
get rid of their magical devices.
no, similar to mine then.
Oh, so, hey, maybe I'll see you around if you're in the same business as me
Maybe.
in the city.
Well, at least work within the same things with item and magical enhancing them.
Alright, well, just don't try not to step on my toes too much and I'll avoid yours.
No, well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that.
Alright.
Sorry for chasing you down, but you were the only one that seemed fair to speak to. So yeah.
Alright, well, see you later. And he
Yeah.
just starts walking
I'll,
away.
I'll like dust off some of the garbage from him, as I guess assume he has some on him.
Oh, and by the way, the reason I was running away is because they told me you were out to kill them and anyone they were working with.
That is Plan B in case things go sad.
He just sighs and
But it
walks
isn't.
away.
Hmm.
Yeah. Alright, so
Okay.
we'll switch back to
Mm.
Ustal.
Mhm.
Oh no, little ones, not so loud. I mean, the guards are only doing their job. You were running. You are causing trouble. We're investigating what you're doing. Come on now.
They don't understand you, so you can roll a persuasion at disadvantage.
Mhm. Expected as much. 17.
Alright. Whether or not it's from what you said, it is after what you said, however, that they calm down. The guards let them go. They stop
Mm.
running away. So the guard's like, so what's this all about?
I'm gonna butcher the name of that group, no doubt about that. If I can find the name. The Abel Gorkin, and some kind of group.
Ubagroken.
Übergroken. It's planning something, but as far as we know, and it might not be good.
The the Sahagin just starts spouting off stuff. And the guard just looks at him. You see a magical glow from something on his chest piece, and he goes, well, this guy says that you're just chasing him down trying to kill him.
And with what exactly?
What did you say?
Because with what exactly? Because fish kills don't make very good letter work.
They
He
can actually.
he seems to, the motions of his mouth seem to be he's speaking common, but what comes out is says the Sahagin, and he goes, this guy just says you're trying to assassinate him, not for his skin.
Right, and I do that in bright daylight with multiple people that can definitely see it, and that's why I called the guards to stop them. And the one human that got away that my friend is after, which I hope he is doing fine.
And he looks over to the Sahagin and says, I'm not going to keep making up language. But he explains this to the Sahagin. The Sahagin just seems more and more frustrated. Um, and the guard says, he says that you tried to poison him. And when that didn't work, you tried to get him arrested.
Right, poison. I'm such an expert in poison that I just willing to risk that chasing him. You can
All
search
right.
me for any kind of poison if you want. I mean, I don't have any poison.
He just goes, all right. I'm not going to get anywhere with this. Both of you are going down to the guard station.
Enough by me.
All right. He nods. He takes one of the Sahagin down to the guard station. The other two are at least temporarily free, but there are guards watching them. He explains this to you as to why he
Hmm.
didn't take all three of them. Um, he takes one of the Sahagin down to the guard station, and you follow willingly? Question mark.
Willingly, yep.
Okay. Yeah, the Sahagin doesn't want to go. He was hoping that whatever he said would get him out of this, but it didn't work. So you're
Mm.
both down at the guard station. He throws the Sahagin in a room, closes the door, and he motions for you to enter a room next to that room.
Yeah, walk into the room.
All right. So they basically just go through some interviews with you, try to get the story straight. Um, and uh, they tell you that they are also interviewing the Sahagin. And it appears that they have this little chess piece. Since there's so many different languages that function in the city, the guards might not understand. So each guard has a magical translator. So,
I was speaking fully in common, just telling them what I did, except leaving the part out about my, magical ring, because that's my little secret.
okay.
I mean, it's not a very big commodity. I mean, it's a warlock thing.
All right. So you just tell the story truthfully, other than the part about they picked up the ring and stuff.
Yeah, that I went into the ring and all that. That I just omit.
Okay. The guard exits the room and comes back a few times as he interviews you more. Seems like they're
Hmm.
measuring up the stories that each person is telling. Um, and he comes back in and he goes, "Are you sure you're not leaving anything out?"
Nothing important to this very moment, no. I mean, only thing I did decide that was literally store my fruits. Nothing else.
He nods. All right. So how do you store your fruit?
I'll use a tiny bit of magic for that. It does transport me. It does usually, well, leave something behind, which I don't like leaving behind. So I usually have to go quickly back, get it back. Luckily, my friend got it for me.
Okay, magic. Okay, that explains the discrepancy there. All right, two more discrepancies.
Go on.
We have your original story.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to compare it to what we've been told.
Go ahead.
So, while they were in the alleyway, you started following
Mm-hmm.
them, correct?
On the alleyway, because, I could sure do it in the middle of the street, teleport away, leave my little thing behind, and have it lost in the middle of a crowd. That would be very well inconvenient, I would say.
All right. But you started following them.
Not out of pure necessity. No, I just wanted, store away my food. Oh, well, what part of following are you talking? Like outside of the alley, inside the alley? Because they were outside of the alley when we were started following them.
Yeah, you started following them because they started walking away.
Yeah. Well, you said in the alley, but well, they started to walk away. Then yes, we started to try following them.
See, this is not great because
I know what.
stalking is illegal within city limits.
Yes, but also forming a cult is, I think, illegal.
This is going great.
Forming a
I know,
religion.
it's great.
Forming a religion is not illegal. It's what the religion does that's potentially illegal.
Well, that's what we were trying to figure out, because, this very religion was quite secretive for some kind of reason.
It's also not illegal to keep secrets.
Boy,
So you're admitting to stalking?
he's following, because, it's not very common that you see them out there and, hassling with someone or
Alright.
something.
Well, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody about this. He leaves the room.
Amazing.
That's all what I can think in my head. Oh, God.
He comes back. Alright. We're here to work out a deal. We do have sympathy for you. Secretive religion, perhaps evil aligned races. So we're not going to be as harsh on you as we potentially would have been.
Fair enough.
However, we, unless you want to work out something else, we are commandeering your stall. And all products within until an investigation has been completed.
Well, I can offer you some great leather work, but sure, you can have the leather. It's all normal leather, nothing of the weird kind. 100% guarantee.
Alright. He just gets up from the chair. He opens the door. You're free to go except to your market stall.
Of course. Well, have a nice day, officer.
He nods towards you.
I get up and walk out.
Alright. You are at the guard station. It isn't that far away. It's just a small building with a few rooms in it. It's not their main headquarters for the guard. So, the main headquarters for the guard is actually on the border from the water to the regular side. Because they do a lot of work in customs because you're not allowed to take certain things that you're allowed to have on the water side to the air side. So they have to do a lot of investigation when it comes to that.
Yep, so I'll be up all night. Yay. Tra la la la.
All right. So
And I
just to
won't get.
just to get back to
Yeah, just one more thing.
Leon,
If
because
you.
I
If,
do want to give your other companion a chance to do something since he split
mm,
from you guys.
yeah, just before you say, like, if you can't find anywhere to sleep, you're gonna get exhaustion. No, I don't.
Yeah, but you still have to rest.
He has to do light
Okay,
activity for 8 hours,
yeah.
actually.
In
Walking
other
around
words,
is not the
walking
problem.
around town is considered expending uh, is not light activity. So you have to
Oh,
be like in a room, sitting in a chair, reading a book or something like that. That's
well,
about it.
good thing. Well, good thing I got the book.
Yeah, it's best way anything. Like you have to like sit and like read your book of shadows or like keep watch.
You can do some
Stuff like
mild walking around, but if you're like exploring the city, that doesn't count.
yeah, mild walking around, just trying to find a bench and just sitting there, taking my book of shadows. Just looks like a.
Like if you were walking around, like say you were in a hotel room, you could like
Mhm.
walk over to a desk and start writing at the desk, and then get up and then sit on the bed and do something else. But you can't like
Yeah,
go around the city or anything like that.
Mm.
yeah, I'll be just trying to find a bench or anything close to the tavern we're gonna meet up again, and then start reading out of my book of shadows.
All right, so Leon, you go back to where the
Yeah.
guards were. You see the
Yeah.
two of the Sahagin are being guarded closely, and they appear to be very frustrated, but they start to leave. But the other two you don't see. One of the Sahagin and the your new companion. You don't see him.
Okay. Is any guard a bit away from the Zahagins?
Yeah, the guard are following the Sahagin.
Okay. So they're taking them to a different place, or?
No, they're just
Oh,
following them.
they're just tailing them. They're following to see what the fuck they're gonna do.
Okay.
It's not considered stalking when it's a guard mandated thing.
Mm.
Because they were a part of a commotion in the middle of the marketplace, so yeah, they're being watched.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, let's see
They
what.
knocked over somebody's goods, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mother of God, how dare they?
Well, depending on what it was, it could have
Bastards.
been ruined.
I know, right?
So. So.
Okay.
You can pull
I
one of those
will.
guards if that's what you wanted to do.
From some of the guards a bit away from the Zahagin, probably. So,
Okay.
but I'll go over to a guard, for example.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
guards stationed every certain distance. They're either patrolling.
I'll go to one and ask what's up with those two, basically. And like I was supposed to meet my friend here. Have you seen him?
Oh, your friend was part of a disturbance, and they brought him back to the guard station to get to the bottom of it. And he points to the direction that they went.
Okay. Is it guard station? Just
Oh,
do I
wait.
need like a meeting or something to go in, or I'm a bit new to the town?
He shrugs. Not sure.
I'll I'll give him a nod.
Go to the guard station. It is publicly accessible. Well, some rooms
Okay.
are off limits, but there is a place
No,
that is
fair,
publicly
sure.
accessible.
Yeah, I'll just need to find him. So, but thanks for your help.
Yeah, if that's the case, then we would have walked into one another at some point.
Yeah, so
I would go to the guard station, so I'll probably meet him at the guard station.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
when he's released from the room, you two meet each other.
Ah, there you are. Well, I have no place to sleep tonight. No, that's a problem for me.
Okay, well, I got information.
Excellent.
A little bit, at least.
We'll just say that you share the information unless there's parts you want to
Yeah.
leave out.
Now I'll tell him the whole story.
Okay, poof, done.
Absolutely splendid. My name is at least saved.
So that's good. So I guess we tell this to. Did you ever say your name, Yorka?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll say this to the Drow once we meet him in the morning.
Well, the Drow and the Minotaur. Well, we could tell the Minotaur right now, right?
We have no idea where he is.
Well, the Minotaur said he would be at the tavern. If we need help or any information.
Okay, so should we like go there, like rest for now, and then wait for the Drow to show back up?
Sure, but also tell the Minotaur that we have some very juicy info. But I count this as very juicy info, this, what you just told me.
Also,
I mean, they're getting...
Does your
Yes?
character tell him that your market stall has been confiscated?
Yes, I just told her that, well, I can go to my market stall. It has been confiscated. Means I don't have any
Lovely.
place to sleep.
I guess we'll get a room in the tavern then.
Well, you can get a room. I don't need a room.
Yeah,
You
so
have seen
since you were
Rick?
honest, the reason that they found out where your market stall was is because
Mhm.
you registered as a merchant. So since you told them what your name was, they knew you had a stall. So
Yeah, it's just a stall where I just sleep, work, sell.
Oh, a room would be nice. So,
you know that the tavern that you guys met at has rooms.
yeah. So we'll go back to that tavern. We'll find a Minotaur first,
Indeed.
if he's
So as
still
you
there.
are doing that, before you
Mhm.
go and tell the Minotaur anything, we're gonna switch
Yeah.
over to
That's sure.
your other friend.
He needs to have stuff to do too.
Mm-hmm.
So Krestos.
Hmm.
I'll get a drink, but I can still hear you.
What were you doing while they were having shenanigans and actually succeeding?
I want to traverse to the water side.
All right, easy enough. You probably already own a water-breathing amulet.
Yeah, sure.
Unless you just want to take one, you can do that too. Doesn't
It would be more convenient to own one.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, so add that to your inventory because your character. I forgot that part of your background. So yeah, just add that to your inventory. It's not going to be super major for this campaign because there's going to be lots of stuff that's happening underwater, so you're going to need it anyway.
Hmm.
So, yeah, the guards don't usually stop people walking to the water side. They usually only stop people who are coming from the water side. So,
Understandable.
there's a dude who offers you a water breathing amulet, but sees that you already have one and then stops. And you walk through the gate. You are now completely submerged.
Cool.
It's just like a gate that the door is open and there's just a wall of water that is not spilling into the air somehow. And you just walk
Yeah.
through it.
Okay, do I know any locations where these guys hangs out in the water?
This particular organization?
This particular race.
Oh, the race. Okay. Yeah, some of them do have segregated places. And yeah, there is a district that has a higher than normal Sahagan population.
Okay, can I enter this kind of area and act like casual in a way that normal people does? Because I assume I have lots of experience with this.
Oh yeah.
I'm smuggling all the time.
Oh yeah. You've been familiar with different customs for the different areas, so yeah, you're
Hmm.
fine. You can
So
on the water side, since it is water, you can swim like above buildings and that sort of thing to get where you need to go. So you get there pretty quickly.
okay, so I would like to get within earshot of a group of these people, and once I get there, I would like to cast comprehend languages
Fair enough.
so I can understand them.
Fair enough. You cast that, and you start strolling near some of the more shady parts of town, because it's not suspicious for you to be there anyway. So, you head over to the more suspicious part of town, and you can see a building, because it's been a little while since you've been to this part of town. You see a building that you haven't noticed before. It is made out of what looks like it's built from coral. Um, and it wasn't there before. Like, not even one pebble of it was there before. It's built in what was an empty lot before. Um, and there's lots of Sahagan coming and going. Like, this place is like,
Their HQ.
seems like it's a new place where they're gathering, and there's like 5 times the amount of Sahagan that you've even seen in the district coming and going in this area. So something strange is happening here.
Are they carrying anything? Something that matches like the disenchantment shit that the Minotaur told about?
They are carrying waterproof scrolls, and they're also carrying things like magical paper, like waterproof scrolls, um, ink. They're carrying various other magical runic inscribing implements, like enchanting supplies, a lot of them. But some of them are just like doing normal things, walking around, doing normal Sahagin stuff. But it appears the entrance is on the top of the building, so you have to swim up to the top of the building to enter it. So a lot of them are swimming up that way, and then swimming down toward ground level and talking to various individuals that appear to be hanging out nearby.
Okay, so there's only a Sahagin that's inside the building.
That go in, you only see Sahagin going.
Yeah, so
There
I'm
are
not gonna
some
go in.
random people such as yourself hanging around, and you see somebody who's like throwing up some thieves' cant, if you understand that.
I am part of Thieves Guild.
Yeah, sure, I'll give you that if you don't already have it.
Cool.
Yeah, you see a dude throwing up some thieves' cant. Apparently, he's got some drugs that he wants to sell you.
Interesting.
But other than that,
Okay.
he doesn't express anything if you don't like go toward him.
I want to hang out here for like 10 minutes before I do anything. See if I heard them speak of anything.
Alright, you see some cloaked figures, yes, even cloaked underwater. They appear to have these things pinning their cloak closed, so that way when they move through the water, it doesn't like move their cloak. There's a large percentage of cloaked figures heading in and out of that building, but a lot of them aren't as well. But most of the cloaked figures are hanging either very close to the building or going in and out of the building. You looking for people who are just trying to overhear a conversation or something?
Yeah, if the Saharans speak to anyone, if they need like supplies or something, whatever.
They're all just really talking to each other. You don't really, not without rolling anything, you don't really see anybody else of any other races other than like the shady types who normally hang around this area trying to sell stuff.
Okay.
So if you would like to, you can roll something. Depends on what you're looking for specifically. Are you looking for people who are of other races? You can roll for that, or like what specifically are you looking for?
How about the guy that sells stuff near this place?
Yeah, he's got some drugs. That's all he's told you so far.
I want to approach him.
All right, manage to do so.
I greet him in Thieves' Cant.
He just looks at you and shakes his head. Nobody around here speaks common. I assume you do.
I do.
He nods. All right, so you looking for some scratch, some dope? What are you looking for?
I can buy one if you got information.
All right, information. One of those types. As he starts looking back and forth, making sure nobody is eavesdropping. What kind of information you looking for?
About the ongoings in that building.
Want to know about that? Everybody wants to know about that. I can't find anything out. Won't let anybody who's our skin tone near the place.
Figures. You heard anything? I assume you don't speak the language?
Oh yes, I do. I haven't really overheard much. They see one of us nearby, they shut up tighter than a witch's ass.
Any suspicious supplies they carry in?
Well, I can tell you a few things about that. They brought that coral from elsewhere. somewhere else deep in the ocean. They shipped that in themselves. Built it in about 2 weeks. They were crazy about it. Other than that, they built the thing first, and any supplies they brought in were afterward. Individual people with sacks. Like, if this were on the aerated side, this place would have been shut down long ago. Too much suspicious shit going on.
Okay.
But if you're looking for anything in particular, they normally don't carry anything suspicious out in the open. They usually have a bag or something.
I see.
But I could tell you everything that they brought in a bag was a suspicious shape, so nothing they're doing in there is good.
Are all the bags the same?
No.
All right. I tip him a gold.
Thing, before you move on to a different topic of conversation, they have been bringing in sharks. Yes, sharks. Different sizes, different species.
All in that building.
Most of them, yeah. But there's
How
one
big?
in that little side building. He points to a stone-built building that is looks like if it were in anywhere that had air, maybe a horse stable. But you've been on the water side. There's people who ride like giant seahorses and stuff like that. They probably would store creatures like that in there. He goes, they moved every creature out of there and put this giant shark in there. It takes up pretty much the whole building.
How big is the building, by the way?
If it were holding horses, the stable size probably hold about 10, 15 horses.
I mean, the coral building.
Oh, the coral building? It's skyscraper sized, so like
Ooh.
20, 30 floors.
Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be hard to infiltrate that. If we're gonna infiltrate.
You're looking to get in there? You're gonna have to change your skin tone.
Is there only that way in?
As far as I've seen, yeah. I've seen other races gather around the base of the building, but there's no entrances at the bottom. Sometimes they talk to these other races. It seems as though whatever they're doing needs other races.
Well, I thank you for your help, and I give him a gold.
He says, that'll buy you one of my top stocks shelf things.
Give me a mediocre. That's fine.
Alright, I'll give you two. He hands you two. Two what appear to be long, thin stones. He goes, I'm sure you know how to use that.
I nod, and I go away.
So, for player information, the stones are to be ground up and then ingested in some way. A lot of people like to sniff it.
Basically cocaine.
But it's a hallucinogenic. So basically it makes you see stuff. And as you're walking away, he goes, it's popular with the people in there. That's why I have a lot of it.
Right. So I don't know what else I could do, honestly.
Well, you can try to overhear people, but like I need to know what you want to do. You can try different things. There's like 99,000 different things you could do, but I need to know what you want to do in order to roll
Yeah.
or whatever. Because you could try to buy a nuke to blow the building up if that's what you want, but you have to roll to try to get those things.
I wanna figure out where some of these Saharans get their supplies from.
Alright. Make an investigation check. Alright. Not bad. You do see some Sahagin who appear to be like messenger types. They have like very sleek clothing, good for swimming. And they appear to be coming from outside the city using one of the water veins. As in, they're swimming through the rivers to go somewhere and then coming back. You just gather that because you can see them going back and forth to the exterior of the city. Because basically, the water side exits, there are 3 exits on the water side, 2 of which lead back to land, like more inland, but they appear to be going further into the ocean. Like, into the Aquan Sea, which I'll throw up the map so that way you can have a look. They're going further into the Aquan Sea, probably around here-ish.
We're still on the other map.
Oh. Apparently, it didn't switch over. There we go. Around here-ish.
Okay.
Because there's a thing that's miles long, a river that's miles long that leads back into the ocean. And they appear to be coming from that direction.
Okay. Other than that, I want to know when, like, the building is least fortified. If we're gonna go in there at some point.
Well, yeah, I'll get you to make a perception check. To see what you perceive as you're doing your investigation.
Is this still light?
It's still light.
Oh, pretty good.
Alright. With a 16, you notice that if you're going to try to get into this place without people seeing you is pretty much the only way, because there's like 40, 50 guards outside at all times. But sometimes there's 70 or 80 guards, so you're not sure if they're all guards, however. Some of them are just like dudes in hoods. Some of them appear to be just like quote-unquote civilian class Sahagin. Just people hanging out. But when it comes to guarding, like there's a ton of people. They don't want people in here. Though, since you've rolled high enough, sometimes if somebody comes near, like because it looks like there's some shady people who really want to know what's going on in there. Every time there's somebody that they want to get out of there, it'll be a distraction large enough to get rid of about half of the guard force. So that could be helpful to you.
Okay.
Yeah, they send like 20, 30 people to go over and check when somebody's trying to get in.
Okay. Do I see who try to make that distraction?
Make Roll a history check. Yeah, it's somebody. There's two distinct people that you see try more than once. There's one dude from the Thieves Guild. He's a Goliath. Not very sneaky, so you don't know why they keep sending him. He's just like this giant dude who's trying to sneak into this place, and he keeps getting caught. You're not sure what that's all about, but you could try to ask if you want. Otherwise, there's a dude from the Assassin's Guild who is also trying to get in there, but they keep catching him because when you have 70 pairs of eyes, like it's hard to get close. He's doing a pretty good job. He almost got in the door once, but as soon as he walked in the door, there was somebody coming out, and they just sort of like pushed him back, and he had to flee.
Okay. I wanna try meeting with these guys.
All right. Do you prefer one over the other, or do you prefer like?
The Goliath first.
Okay. You swim over. You see the Goliath. He thinks he's hiding, but he's not. And you just swim over to him. He's getting ready for another run-in at the building.
I call out to him. Maybe try a better plan this time.
He just looks over at you. Shit, I didn't hide well again.
No, you're quite obvious.
Perhaps I'm just not cut out for this roguish thing.
Well, as it turns out, I myself are curious of what's inside that building as well. And I'm planning to get in there at some point very soon.
Oh, looking for some muscle?
You seem like good distraction. You've done that before, right?
Yeah. Although, this is my test to see if I'm good at sneaking into places. So far, all they put me on is looking tough or beating people up.
Well, tomorrow, if you can look tough or beat people up on that gate, we can probably make this work. I have some other companions that will help me in this what do you call it? Assignment.
Alright. Meet here tomorrow, because I'm going to be stuck trying to do this over and over again until I succeed.
It will probably bolster your chances of success.
Watch him just succeed after your leave.
You seem roll a
That
nat
would be a
20,
thing.
but after you leave.
Yeah.
If he were a player character, he's a guy who junked dexterity, and he's trying to sneak.
Oof.
So, you don't see any time in the future that he's going to succeed. He could try this for 2 months and still not succeed.
Okay, what time is it currently?
Since you spent a lot of time like just watching things, seeing people come and go, that sort of thing, you spent a few hours doing this. It's getting later at this point.
Sure. And what time was the least amount of guards?
It's actually during the day. Because a bunch of the guards leave to escort other Sahagin elsewhere.
Okay. I name a time frame during the day which there's less guards that we should meet.
Alright. So around 12 to 3 o'clock. So
Yeah.
afternoon to 3 o'clock.
You got a place nearby?
Oh, the Thieves Guild's got a place nearby. It's where I've been running back to every time they chase me away. Luckily, they're not trying to kill anyone who tries to infiltrate. As long as they don't get in, they don't kill anyone.
Yeah, well, tomorrow it might be messy.
I don't mind a little mess, especially with the water taking everything away.
It's convenient. Alright.
I'll meet you there.
I want to find the assassin dude.
Alright, you see him after you wait an hour, and after he attempts to go back in again, he's chased off, and that's when you manage to find where he is, because you see him being chased off.
Okay. I want to find a window where they leave him alone, and then I will approach him.
Oh yeah, you see where he runs back to every time. It seems like the Sahagin, once somebody gets far enough away, they just go back to... It's kind of like an AI. In a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Once he runs too far away, then they stop and then turn back.
Yeah, okay.
Damn Skyrim, man.
I approach him and call out it seems it didn't work this time either.
There's too many of them. And he's wearing a hood, so he's about human size, so you're not sure what race he is.
I don't care much.
Okay.
So I can perhaps help you get closer.
Yeah, I tried whenever that stupid thief tries to get close, but...
Yes.
Seems like there's people guarding the inside as well.
How many did you see inside?
10. Guarding the entrance.
Well,
I don't want a bloodbath. That's not my style.
fair enough. Tomorrow, I will have some of my companions plus this other thief that's making a lot of ruckus, and we will try to approach them. If you are in, that will be bolster our chances.
Alright. Just got tired of trying today anyway.
I assume you are familiar with Thieves Guild?
Yeah.
We will meet there.
Let's just say sometimes members of the Thieves Guild are not as honorable as the rest of you. Because the Thieves Guild does not try to murder people when possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference between the Assassin's Guild and the Thieves Guild. If you murder somebody in the Thieves Guild and it draws attention to them, you get in trouble. Whereas in the Assassin's Guild, if you kill someone and it draws attention to them, that's part of their business model.
So I tell where he wants to meet and at what time. So.
He goes,
Okay.
alright. Working together doesn't seem that bad of an idea.
Yeah, it seems like working alone is getting us nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I'll try again tomorrow, during that time that you mentioned.
That is good. Alright. In that case, I want to swim back.
Alright. You're heading back to the aerated section?
Yep.
Alright. So, we'll move back to the other two. You wanted to report your findings to the
Minotaur.
the Minotaur. He's just sitting behind the bar. We'll move back to that screen. He's just sitting behind the bar.
Yep. So I just get onto my stool. Onto a stool in front of the bar.
All right. You have done so. For
Oh,
you guys,
don't we just have...
it's
Okay,
about
go on.
time for like uh dinner, around dinner time.
Mm.
So like 5, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Oh, don't we just have some juicy info for you?
Alright. What do you got?
I give him the information.
Alright, you're just getting info dump on him.
Yep.
He goes, well, all of that is interesting. Not really too much we didn't surmise on our own. They obviously wanted to
Relax.
Oh,
destroy the city, so
Mm.
disenchanting some of the magical effects around the city would be part of their plan.
Yeah.
However,
yeah, you said
we
any.
weren't aware that they were ordering from anybody in the city. I don't know why they would be so reckless.
Our other companion might come with some extra information, but that's what me and Ustal gathered.
Yep,
Alright.
that's what the two of
You
us
see
just
that
gathered.
he's got a pen and a quill, or a quill and an inkwell, and he's currently writing down in the book what you guys have told him.
Mhm.
And it seems as though when he finishes a page, he turns the page over. The other side of the page is empty, and the other page is empty. When last time he did that, it wasn't. Almost as if it's a magical book.
I want that book now.
You can make that yourself, you know that.
I can try.
Since you both are familiar with magic, yeah, this is a book that adds pages to it as you write it.
Cool.
So that way you can have different sections in the book and like keep them separate without having to like say, "Oh, I'm going to dedicate 50 pages to this and if I run out of pages then I'll have to make a new book." You can just continue writing. And it adds more
Mm.
pages for you.
Also, Leon, would you have time to just write down your name in book? Nothing nefarious, just handy for later.
What?
Yeah,
The,
my fucking-
the Book of Shadows, my book, because I've seen something that I can use it for.
I know what you mean.
Oh,
Oh, you need
Just put
you're
you need
book
the
asking
full
down.
name
the
or?
Minotaur's name or
No, he's asking me. He's
No,
asking
no,
me.
him, yeah, Leon.
You need a full name or just Leon?
Just your name, that will do.
Yeah, I'll write down Leon and his name in the book. In the book.
Thank you. Closes book, puts book away.
Alright, it's
Yeah, I know. I know what he's doing.
alright, it's about 8 o'clock and your companion comes in to the bar. Crusty.
There you are, our
Hello.
drow friend.
How
Did
did
you
your
have?
information go?
Well, we got some good info. Something we didn't know that they already know, but we at least know that they're gathering lots of magical items and trying to, well, create an anti-magic field. Also, they're gathering it on, well, the air side instead of, well, their side. Which is quite bold of them.
That is good.
Maybe they're
Because
doing something so large scale that maybe they could build a construct around the city is with the amounts of stuff that they're ordering.
yes, that is good because I have found their hideouts. And all the resources are going inside there.
Well, that's good to know. We're here to gather information and not go blown up.
The Minotaur walks
Right?
over to the drow. So, where's their hideout?
It is in the water side, I describe the literal coral skyscraper.
Yeah.
And
Oh, shit.
yes, there's lots of guards at all times. I have acquired some mutual allies that wants to get in tomorrow, that they may help us, but I don't know if that is enough.
He is not going to be impressed that that's what that thing is for. Oh, god damn it. He continues writing it down. And you can see he finishes writing down a sentence, and he continues to look at the book. Another sentence begins writing itself.
He can think as well.
No. But unless you examine it, you don't know what's happening.
It's like a Discord book. It's writing to the other guy.
I kind of have an idea what's going on because I think I can know what it is. As you know,
Either
Pact
way,
of the
he
Tome
sits
is
there
kind
and
of like that.
reads what is being written. So, he's spending some time reading what is being written to him.
It's fine.
Via the book, that is.
I know the internet. I have a clue.
So he's going to be reading for a little bit if you guys want to discuss something.
Yeah. So, if we are going into this place, it will have to be tomorrow. I assume you guys wants to go as well. Yes.
Seems fair to me.
Well, we were just hired to, well, asked to get their info and not, go in deep, right? I mean, sure, we can, but I do hope we can get some, well, good things from it.
The Minotaur sets the book down for a second. The book continues writing, as you can see, like it's open to the page. And it continues writing and even flips to a new page and continues writing.
I like note that like my book, like okay, I want that book.
So
I'm slightly starting to like check the book out, basically, trying to figure out how it works.
okay, if you want to try to check it out, you can roll an Arcana, because obviously it's magical.
21. It double clicked with my account.
That's
So.
okay. 21 is sufficient. This is a communal book, so there's more than one book attached to each other magically. And when somebody writes something in one of the books, it appears in the other books.
Mm-hmm.
So that way people can compile information. And
It's like message but writing instead.
yes,
There's a
and
better message.
unless if you have a way of like erasing the ink from the book, it remains in all of the books. So it's a permanent thing.
Mm. I'll start writing notes down. So I'm gonna start to think of ways that can be made.
You know of some
Mm.
linking enchantments already that you can like
Mm.
link things together, but you're not exactly sure all the intricacies of the book. You would have to research more to try to figure out how to make that.
That's fair.
So he looks over at you guys and he goes, "Oh, so you're looking for a reward already? I mean,
I'm looking for what we should do next.
well, the more information you get, the higher the reward's gonna be. So,
Yes, well, I'm telling you.
now you can get one, but it's not gonna be as much as if you continue on this thread."
Do you have anything that can help us get past 40 plus guards?
Set of 40 guards?
At the calm times.
Alright, well, not really. Well, I suppose I I should rephrase that. Nothing that you can have access to. No. You've shown that you
Great.
can be useful, but the more useful you prove yourselves, the better, more jobs we're going to be able to give you.
Okay. Tomorrow we can try going in.
I just hope that some of those other people traveling here or on other business come here soon. Then you'll have more allies to help you.
That would be needed.
But, for now at least, you're all we got. So, go ahead. Unless any of you want your payout now.
I'm fine with waiting.
He nods. Looks over at Ushtal.
I'm fine
Cheap.
with waiting, yes.
Alright. Okay. So he starts reading the book again. So unless you guys have anything else for him, we can skip to the next day if you want.
At the current of time, I
Eh,
don't think we do have anything else.
no, we don't think so, no.
Sure.
Okay. So he just continues reading his book. You guys do whatever it is that your characters want to do for the rest of the evening. And then you at least wake up in time enough to head to the water side to do what you said you were going to do. So, what would you like to do?
I would like to acquire what's it called? Translator amulet.
Okay. Not very expensive. How much gold do you have?
14.
14? Yeah, for 10 gold, you can get a translator amulet. However, since it's the cheaper version, it costs 10 gold, and it will last 2 weeks.
That's plenty.
It will become defunct after 2 weeks.
Sure.
Because it's just a simple, quick enchantment that they can make within, like, a day. And just go poop, 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 poop. Done. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So the runes aren't as hard etched into the object. So it will... The runes will still be there, but they'll become non-functional after 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, it costs you 10 gold. So you can mark that off. So, that has been acquired. And it only works for one person. So whoever has it equipped is the person who it applies to.
Yeah. I got it.
So, anybody else want to do anything? You do have a tiny bit of gold. You can buy a few things if you need it.
Don't think I have anything special.
I don't have anything, no.
And if you wanted to rent a room in this tavern, it costs a gold for all 3 of you.
Sure, I'll pay for that.
Yeah, sure. A gold it is.
Paid for all 3 now, so.
Oh, you paid for all 3. Oh, how generous of you.
That was 1 gold for all 3, is that so?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you sure you're not taking me up on my offer now? Or are you still hiding it?
On what?
Oh, you know, you already found my ring and all that. Yes, he's just gonna tease you.
I'm just being nice.
Oh, I know. I just like to play little games, you know? It's fun at times.
Plus, it also says that you can't get a long resting ring anyway. So
Yeah, I can get a short rest at like higher level, but
You two should get married for that +2 AC.
for like I think it's like a week for plus 280.
Yeah, for a week, yeah.
Stonks.
A week if you're within 30 feet.
Yeah.
Fair, we're both are distant fighters, so I guess that could work.
I hope you're a close combat fighter, John Buck, because we're not gonna get close, either of us.
I'm not.
How much would a simple weapon cost, Matt?
simple weapon.
Yeah, no, as a
The-
martial weapon, like a great sword or something. How much would that cost?
Those things are in the player's handbook.
Yeah, because I don't think
Yeah.
you can afford that if it's based on that.
Depends on what kind of weapon you want.
Just a basic greatsword.
Yeah, just a
Or-
basic, super expensive piece of metal.
Yeah, just a 50,000 gold worth greatsword. No big deal.
No, that's full plate.
That's true. That is fucking
Are you
expensive.
looking for a great sword?
Yeah,
This is a non-magical greatsword.
yeah, that's fair.
50
50.
gold pieces.
Oof.
50 for a normal?
Yep.
Big
Yep.
yikes.
That's stupid. That's crazy. No, I won't get that.
I mean, a regular dagger is 2 gold pieces.
I thought it was like one.
Nope.
Nope.
You could buy
Well,
a
I
javelin
could.
for 5 silver pieces.
Well, I could get money, but you know, all my wares have been confiscated.
Is there anywhere I can get poison?
Poison, yes. But
Depending on the
poisons,
poison, it can be pretty expensive.
in the book are expensive and they suck.
Yeah, like as you can get like one with about 2,000 gold, like 68 or something like that.
No, I think the
So, in the
purple
book-
worm poison.
In the book, a basic vial of poison is 100 gold pieces.
Bruh.
Poison's expensive, man.
Yeah, the best poison is purple worm poison. That's
You got anything for 4
2K.
gold?
4 gold.
Hell yeah, boy.
That's how much that poison does. It has a DC of 10, and it does 1d4 poison damage.
Wow.
Purple worm poison, let me see here. 12d6 for 2,000 gold for one use.
26, DC 19.
And
Yeah.
you
And
have
half
to
it-
apply the poison within 1 minute of using it, otherwise it dries up.
Yeah, that's why I most take the poisoner feat, because then I can, with a 50 gold worth, they can actually make a simple 2d8 poison.
Okay. Forget about poisons. How about give me some regular bolts?
Bolts
bolts.
Yup.
for
yeah.
a crossbow.
Bolts are cheap. They're
Yup.
cheap.
5 copper pieces for just 1.
1 gold for a bundle of 10, I think.
Nope, 20. 1 gold for a
20.
bundle of 20.
I'll buy
1 gold
80.
for a case.
I
No,
have
4
You
gold
have
pieces.
80 bolts.
I have 100 bolts total now. Woo!
Your character is 50% made of bolts.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Look,
Just-
I can't heal you if you're just made out of bolts, you know? I need plenty bit for that.
Just so I don't have to count, okay?
Damn, greatsword. Why is great axe cheaper than greatsword?
Because this great sword has more metal than the axe. Because the axe just has the axe head that is made of metal, whereas the sword
And
has
the
the metal
greatsword is like a
inside.
full, like, 6-foot blade.
Olaf,
Yeah.
Olaf, and the great sword has more average damage.
That is true.
That's true too, but logically it makes sense because the blade is made of metal.
Mm.
Yeah. It's not by a lot
Longsword is
more
15 gold
expensive.
pieces.
Damn, weapons are expensive.
Yeah, they're not expensive. They're not cheap.
Well, it takes a skilled artisan like more than one day to create these things.
Mhm.
So yeah, makes
Mm.
sense. Like in a
Skilled.
day, he might be able to create like one dagger. So yeah, it's unless he's using magic, then yeah, it takes forever.
Mm.
That kind of stuff. I mean, he can make more than one, but he can only make like he can get started on more than one like mold at once, but it takes like a day to create one.
That's very true. But yes. So we're going into our rooms, get some sleep, and then we're going to kick down door.
What? Kick down door?
That's what he said.
What do you mean?
Oh, we're getting into action. I guess it seemed like
Oh.
that.
We are going to meet others in Thieves Guild.
So what? We're gonna need to be blindfolded to see them, to go to them. I don't know how it works.
No. We just go there.
I highly doubt that, but okay.
You are
They
with
do have
me, so you are safe.
They do have a place where they can meet the public. Otherwise, no one would order for something to be stolen from them.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to order that. Just a sec. What? What? I'm not coming down for a while.
Yeah.
So
I would assume I know like public meeting areas where Thieves Guild members can meet, right?
Oh yeah, they usually just meet in like taverns and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I would know like the regular place where we set up stuff.
Yep. This particular tavern, it's relatively small, so not very much clientele. Um, um, yeah, so this wouldn't be a good place to look. You may find like a Thieves Guild member, but they're not here to make money. So people who are looking for like people to hire somewhere else, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we meet them at Waterside Tavern. I know which.
All right, yep, the entire water side is flooded, so yeah, you guys two of you need water breathing amulets.
By the way, I assume if the others want to join, it will be a nice stopping point to stop at the tavern, right?
It depends. Do you guys want to go any longer?
I'm fine
Oh.
either way.
I mean,
same here.
how would they join if like we're in the middle of the skyscraper, you know?
I actually have a few ideas for that, but for now, we can just keep going for a little bit if you want.
Yeah, and I got a D&D sessions tomorrow, so
Okay.
gotta get up early.
So how much longer are people looking to go for?
50 minutes?
50?
15?
Oh, 15.
1-5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two numbers sound really close to each other. Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. I can do 15 minutes. Yeah, that works.
Yep.
Okay. you're probably not going to get into the structure anyway in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fair.
We'll see about that.
I
We
mean,
could go in 15 minutes.
you
No.
could just say, my character rushes the doorway, and then you would get in 15 minutes. Yes, but...
My character buys a C4 and blows up the building. I get in.
Well,
Oh,
fantasy world equivalent of C4, but sure.
Yeah.
I would say that you would have to roll to find that, and that might take some time. So,
Oh, I had it stored away in under my desk. You know, I'm a Thief Guild member. I steal that shit.
other than what you have on your person, you don't have much.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, you're a Thieves Guild member, and you're not even a rogue, which is fine. I'm just saying that that's the case. Thieves Guild
Well,
members are not always rogues. They do need people with different skill sets to be able to do different things.
yeah, I bring the news. You know.
Considering in this world there's already a main character, or a character who's related to a main character, who was a fighter that's part of the Thieves Guild. So, yeah.
Mhm.
But he did level up in Rogue a little bit. But he's an NPC anyway, so. Just so that way he can sneak into places easier. But he's more the
Yep.
muscle for the Thieves Guild.
It's like that Goliath.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So, you guys want to go to the water side? Because two of you currently do not have water-breathing amulets, so you would have to stop at a guard station. So would you like
Yeah,
to
so
do that?
we'll. Yeah. As we would need that to get to that side. Yeah.
I want to wait outside and not before the guards. You know, because I have like shady shit on me, like 100 bolts.
Well, bolts aren't illegal.
I have a fucking gun on my back.
By the way, yeah. By the way, the drug I bought, I threw that away before I went to the ear side, so they don't have it anymore. Because I assume that's illegal, right? The ear side.
A little bit.
Okay.
Considering it's
Well,
relatively addictive.
yeah. Well, I'm not a junkie, anyways. So
Fair enough.
That's Preben's thing.
yeah.
It's funny because we were playing a different game where being an addict actually factors into the game system, and he never suffered the negative effects of it because he would be constantly drunk.
Yep. Can you guess who?
Yeah, that's Preben.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Still missing that.
yeah, you get like a bonus for taking this negative trait, but you have to do certain things all the time, is what the trade-off is. But
Just put him in a dungeon crawler, and he'll have problems finding his supplies.
yeah.
That's the problem with Pre-Man. He always had some alcohol on him somehow, some way.
He's gonna run out, dude. Can't carry the whole world full of alcohol.
In the scent, he has an infinite pouch of tobacco.
Yeah.
Believe me, he was the tank. He was a walking tank. If he walked, no, let me go better. If he walked among tanks, he would be indistinguishable.
Like you saw with
He had that much armor.
with his halfling in the mini campaign. Always had booze on him. Somehow.
Yeah. And in this other game system, he even had to pay for it every once in a while, and he would.
Yeah.
He would just use some of his payments that he would get from other things to feed his addiction. He was always fine. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, you get to the guard station.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guards is sitting next to a chest that he has open that has a bunch of amulets in them.
Yeah. Are they free or have to pay?
He says, "Do you ask him this?"
Yes.
He goes,
I'm new to this town.
"It's free as long as you return it. And if you're
Okay.
taking a free one, we can track it. So if you leave the
Cool.
city, we'll be notified."
Cool.
He tosses it to you. And you can see, since you have a little bit in Arcana, that there are extra runes on it other than the runes that would be necessary for a water-breathing amulet. So yes, he's
Mhm.
probably telling the truth that they can track it.
I'll if I get the opportunity, I will research the amulet and try to make a copy of it.
You will need supplies to do so, which you'll still have
Yeah.
to pay for, but
I'll do research in the meantime. While we,
since
if
you
you
don't
have
have very
runes.
much money, you can't pay for one yet, but the guard
Yeah.
stations do sell them, if you want them.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm mostly gonna note down the stuff that might possible enchantments and so forth.
okay.
Mhm.
He looks towards the Yuan Ti. Your kind can't breathe underwater either.
Nope.
So you're looking for one?
Yep, because I do need one if I want to stay alive, which I
Looking to
do
pay
intend to
for-
do.
Looking to pay or return?
I'll be returning it. No problem about that.
Alright, he grabs another one, tosses it to you. You can see that there's a line of like 15 people that has queued up behind you as you're talking to this guy.
Yeah, take my get out of the queue weld so that people can get in the queue, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I assume Leon also exits.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how does your construct deal with being underwater?
Well, technically it doesn't need to breathe or anything like
Okay,
that.
if it doesn't need to breathe, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, because it's basically it's a magically enchanted robot. Basically, it just
Okay.
doesn't get fucked up in water.
Yeah, if it doesn't need to breathe, then you're good.
It doesn't need to breathe.
Although, for combat situations, when you're swimming, unless if you have like freedom of movement cast on you or something like that, you move at half speed.
That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, you guys are swimming through the.
Because there's a construct, so it don't have the nature of a wolf that needs to breathe or anything. So.
But in my world, I don't know about other worlds. It acts exactly like the creature. It's almost as if you imbued it with the soul of the creature.
Yeah.
So yeah, it acts exactly like the creature that you made it to look like.
That's true.
So you go to the tavern. You can see Crestos. Yeah, you can tell that as soon as you walk in the tavern, there's like 5 people as soon as you walk in that you notice are talking in Thieves' Cant instantly. And you also notice that almost everyone here has like an insignia or memorabilia of the Thieves Guild on their person openly. So, your
Yeah.
character doesn't normally wear it out openly, but you do have an insignia of the guild.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yep.
I have mine too, but I have it like hidden under on the coat of my jacket, under the metal protection over the arms. So.
Yeah, for your guild.
For mine. So for me, I don't have any visible symbols on.
Yeah, we'll talk about later what specific name the guild has and everything.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that for now.
That's true.
Same with everybody else's stuff. If they need anything named, I usually don't do it mid-session. If I'm gonna come up
That's
with
true.
something, I'll do it after.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you guys are in this tavern. 99% of these people are probably thieves. And the tables and stuff, like, they utilize their space. They have a table on top of a table that's floating in the water above the other table.
Cool.
That's everything. Yeah, they utilize their space. You may as well use it
Use
while
every
you have
inch
it.
they get.
People are able to access it, so why not use it? The space. Yeah, so there's all kinds of tables. This is a very active pub. So, what are you looking for in particular?
Well, are the dudes there?
The two guys?
Hmm.
Did you tell them to meet here?
I told asked to Goliath where we should meet, and
Oh,
I assumed like this was the place.
and you told the other guy? Like, it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, I don't remember you telling them, but it's fine.
Uh,
You can just have told them.
yeah, I would have told them.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That works.
Mm.
So, yeah, they're both sitting in a corner away from a lot of the action. You can see
Okay.
that there's a lot of, like, merfolk in here. There's, myriads. There's Sahagin. There's people from all different races here. The
Mm.
only ones, however, that Christos probably trusts any amount are the ones with the Thieves Guild insignias on them.
Mm.
There are a couple with the Assassin Guild insignias on them, but yeah, they normally don't wear their stuff out in the open either, but this appears to be neutral ground where they can meet. So, what would you
Yep.
like me to do other than just meet your guys? Do you just want to meet your guys?
Well, I want to meet them and ask them. So, this is all that's coming.
Just the two of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, you invited only those two, nobody else.
Well, they might have had some allies that want to go in. I don't know.
since
You literally told them to come and meet you here. You didn't tell them to bring more people.
that's true also. But what I was gonna say
Yeah.
is, um, they were being rewarded by doing what they were doing already. They're just here to help you. If you wanted anybody else, they would have to pay them if they brought them, which would
Hmm.
then result in them asking for you for payment.
Yeah. I guess I would ask also about if they know anyone that's interested.
The Thieves Guild guy goes, well, I'm kind of assuming at this point that somebody's trying to play a practical joke on me and trying to get me to break into the hardest place to break into once I've been talking to him, as he motions to the assassin. And the assassin's like, I agree. They probably were. Yeah, this place isn't easy to break into. But there's a lot of people interested in what's going on in there. Just not a lot of people willing to risk their necks to go in there and find out.
See, that's what I have been saying. And sure,
Murder is not technically illegal here. Only if you kick up enough fuss about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the water side of the city is a den of madness.
Yeah. So
It's a risk just walking the street, just swimming the streets here, I suppose I should say.
I
Not
guess
that you have somebody who knows which streets to take that are less likely to get you shanked for no reason.
Yeah, guess we can take the plan next time because it's been 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you guys can